We all know that life gets overwhelming, whether it's tiny annoyances that drain you or huge moments that feel like they might break you. But what if peace wasn't something far away? What if it was right under your feet in every step you take? Welcome to Find Peace in Every Step. Buddha guides your path. In today's video, we'll explore how simple moments can lead to deep calm. So let's not waste any time and let's begin. As you take your first easy step forward, the world seems to exhale with you. The soft twilight deepens into a gentle blue, wrapping the path in a calming hush. The ground beneath your feet feels steady and familiar, like it's known you far longer than you've known it. Each pebble, each curve of the earth, supports you without effort. You walk slowly, almost floating, letting your breath guide the pace. Inhale and notice how your shoulders relax ever so slightly. Exhale and feel the weight of the day melt away. The path widens, welcoming you. Light filters through the early evening air, soft and warm, casting long shadows that stretch like peaceful companions along the trail. You're not rushing. There's no need to hurry. Here, the world doesn't demand anything of you. It only invites you to be present. With each step, the quiet around you deepens, not an empty silence, but a comforting stillness, the kind that lets your thoughts slow until they feel like feathers drifting through the mind. You can hear your own breath clearly now, gentle and steady, matching the rhythm of the path beneath your feet. This is the beginning of a journey inward as much as forward. You imagine the Buddha walking beside you, not as a figure that commands attention, but as a calm presence, like the soft warmth of a candle burned low. His guidance feels subtle, patient, like a hand resting lightly on your back, reminding you that every step is enough, that you are enough. His presence isn't loud. It's a quiet assurance, a steadying anchor in the peaceful dusk. As you continue, the scenery shifts almost imperceptibly. The air becomes slightly cooler, touched by the scent of earth and leaves settling from the day. The path curves gently, as though leading you deeper into a sanctuary that has been waiting just for you. A faint rustling comes from somewhere ahead, not alarming, just soft, like something natural unfolding in its own time. Your footsteps fall in an easy rhythm now. You notice the texture of the path, a blend of dirt, tiny stones, and fallen leaves that cushion each step. When you lift your foot, the earth seems to sigh, and when you place it down again, the world accepts you with quiet gratitude. The sense of being held, supported, grows stronger. In this tranquil moment, your mind begins to loosen its grip on all the little stories it holds. Worries that clung to you earlier start to slip away, not because you push them, but because the path gently pulls your attention towards something softer, something simpler, something real. A sense of spaciousness grows within you, like a lantern glowing behind the ribs, warm and steady. You feel yourself softening into the moment, as if the edges of your being are dissolving into the evening air. The Buddha's presence seems to glow, just a little brighter, not as light you can see, but as calm you can feel. The trees ahead seem to shift, their silhouettes becoming clearer taller, more defined against the sky. Their branches sway slowly, like they're bowing to the night. You can almost sense them noticing you, acknowledging you, welcoming you deeper into their ancient world. Their leaves catch the faintest breeze, whispering in a language older than memory, one of peace, patience, and belonging. As you walk, you begin to hear the forest's breath, the soft rustling of branches, the quiet hum of insects just waking for the night, the distant flutter of wings. It feels alive, but in a serene, unhurried way. There is no chaos here, no tension. Only natural rhythm, slow and grounded. Another step, another breath. The forest seems to open itself to you, like a friend offering a place to rest. The deeper you walk, the more connected you feel to yourself, to this path, to the quiet wisdom that surrounds you. It's as if the very ground beneath your feet recognizes your heartbeat and walks in harmony with you. Your senses sharpen, not with intensity, but with gentleness. You begin to notice the subtle glow along the edges of the leaves, the way the fading light catches on their surfaces like tiny stars. This is where the forest begins to speak, not in words, but in presence. A calm invitation, a soft reminder that you belong to the world around you more than you realize. As you keep walking, the trees grow closer, forming a protective canopy that arches overhead, filtering the sky into soft shades of blue and silver. Their branches, thick and steady, create a natural gateway. Crossing beneath them feels like entering a different kind of stillness, one deeper, older, more nurturing. The whispers of the forest become clearer, like they've been waiting for you to reach this point. And as the canopy thickens and the air shifts, you begin to hear it, a faint, tender murmur. The trees themselves stirring gently in the evening. A soft breath of wind drifts through the branches, carrying their quiet message forward. This is where the next part of your journey begins. This is where the whisper of ancient trees calls you to listen and step deeper. The soft breath of wind drifting through the branches brushes your skin like a quiet welcome. As you step deeper beneath the arching canopy, the trees seem to lean in, their tall silhouettes rising like gentle guardians on either side of the path. Their presence is warm, ancient, and comforting, as though they remember every traveler who has walked here before, and they're grateful you finally arrived. The air grows richer with the earthy scent of bark and moss. The ground feels cooler beneath your feet, cushioned with fallen leaves, softened by time. You walk slowly, listening, not with your ears at first, but with that deeper part of you that recognizes peace when it's offered. And here, in this forest corridor, peace isn't just offered, it's woven into everything. A hush settles over the path, not the kind that feels empty or tense, but the kind that fills you from the inside. It's the kind of silence that makes you breathe slower, softer, like even your lungs want to match the calm rhythm of this place. Each inhale draws in a small piece of the forest's stillness. Each exhale lets go of one more thing you don't need to carry. The trees whisper as the wind moves through their branches, a delicate rustling that sounds almost like words, gentle reminders passed down through the ages. Be patient, move softly, grow at your own pace. You are safe here. You don't need to understand their language exactly. You just feel it, settling over your thoughts like a warm shawl. The whispers don't rush you. They don't push you toward some grand revelation. They simply guide you toward quiet awareness. The same way the Buddha's teachings invite you to rest inside your own breath. You keep walking, your steps steady and unhurried. The forest seems to adjust its rhythm to match yours, or maybe it's the other way around. Either way, the moment feels balanced, like walking inside a perfectly synchronized flow. Sunlight filters through the canopy in scattered golden beams, soft and thin, like strands of warm silk. They land on the path in gentle patches, creating pools of light that glow against the deep greens and browns around you. When you step through each patch, you can feel a subtle lift in your chest, as if each beam is reminding you that even in the quietest places, light still finds a way through. The further you walk, the more the trees seem to shift in appearance. Their trunks grow wider, their bark more textured, carrying scars and patterns carved by time. Every line, every knot tells a story. Stories of storms survived, seasons endured, growth that continued no matter what. And somehow, just by being in their presence, you feel your own resilience mirrored back at you. A slight breeze picks up, weaving around your body like a soft embrace. The branches above sway gently, their leaves brushing against each other with a soothing murmur. It's not loud, not insistent, just steady and calming, like a mantra repeated without urgency. The sound blends with your breath, creating a natural rhythm that feels almost meditative. Inhale with the rise of the branches. Exhale with their fall. Inhale. Exhale. Again and again. As you continue forward, the path narrows slightly, drawing you closer to the trees. Some lean over the trail, arching their branches overhead like an ancient temple roof. Their shadows wrap around you, not like darkness, but like shelter. Like the Buddha's great compassion, extending a protective hand over your journey. The forest feels alive, not in a sharp, alert way, but in the slow, grounded pulse of something that has existed long before you and will continue long after. Its wisdom isn't spoken directly. It's felt in the roots, in the leaves, in the curve of the branches that hold the sky with quiet confidence. You sense that the trees aren't trying to teach you anything complicated. They simply want you to notice the small truths that live inside stillness, that you don't need to rush, that clarity comes when you give it space, that peace grows in the places where you stop forcing everything to happen all at once. As you breathe this in, you notice a slight shift in the air around you. The temperature dips just a little, cool enough to raise the hairs on your arms, but gentle enough to soothe. You pause for a moment, letting the change wash over you. The breeze carries a different scent now, something fresher, cleaner, like water flowing somewhere nearby. The trees begin to thin, ever so slightly. Their branches open up, creating wider gaps in the canopy above. Through the spaces, the sky reveals a softer glow, and the subtle sound reaches your ears, a faint trickle, quiet but unmistakable. A stream is close. Its voice blends with the forest's whisper, adding a new layer of serenity to the atmosphere. The trees gently usher you forward, their rustling fading into the background as the sound of flowing water grows clearer. The cool air guides your steps toward it, inviting you to follow the sound deeper into calm. Ahead, the path curves toward the source of that soft trickling. And this is where the next part of your journey unfolds. This is where the stream of clear knowing begins to call you closer. The sound reaches you before the water itself comes into view, a gentle, steady trickle that feels like the forest whispering in a new dialect. The breeze carries its coolness toward you, brushing lightly against your skin, guiding you closer with the soft insistence of something patient and wise. As you follow the curve of the path, the leaves part just enough for the stream to appear ahead, glimmering in the last traces of twilight. The water is narrow but luminous, catching the fading light in tiny ripples that shimmer like threads of silver woven across the earth. It flows calmly over smooth stones, each movement gentle and unhurried. Nothing about the stream strains, or pushes, or fights. It simply moves, naturally, gracefully, finding its way forward without forcing anything. As you approach the bank, the air shifts again, cooler now, filled with the scent of fresh water and soft moss. The ground gives slightly beneath your feet, cushioned by grass that has grown thick and vibrant near the stream's edge. You lower yourself slowly, settling onto a patch of soft earth, letting your body relax into the ground's quiet embrace. For a moment, you don't do anything. You just sit, breathing, listening. The stream speaks in a language made of movement. Its voice is tender, never louder than it needs to be. Yet somehow, it carries a clarity that resonates inside you. Each ripple seems to brush gently against your thoughts, smoothing them out the same way water polishes stones over time. You let your gaze soften, resting on the surface of the water. Reflections dance there. The dimming sky above, the arching silhouettes of the trees, the faint shimmer of early stars beginning to peek through. But the reflection that draws you in most is the one that moves with the current, shapes shifting, dissolving, reappearing. It reminds you of thoughts, always arriving, always leaving, always changing. You pick up a small leaf near your knee, turning it over between your fingers. It's light as a whisper, delicate but intact. Without thinking too hard, you place it gently onto the surface of the water. For a breath, it floats in place. Then the current catches it, carrying it slowly downstream. You watch it drift away, wobbling slightly, turning, adjusting, but never resisting where the water takes it. Another breath, another release. You reach for another leaf. This time, you let it represent something you've been holding on to, a worry, a pressure, an old thought that's overstayed its welcome. You place it onto the water too. It floats for a moment, then glides away just like the first, carried by the steady flow. The Buddha's presence feels close again, not as a figure you see, but as a sense of ease settling into your chest. It's as if he sits beside you, watching the stream with the same gentle acceptance, reminding you that letting go doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes, it's as simple as placing a thought into the current and letting the water handle the rest. The stream doesn't judge what you release. It doesn't cling to the leaves you give it. It accepts, carries, transforms. Your breath grows deeper, more natural. The tension you didn't realize you were still holding begins to melt. Shoulders softening, chest widening, jaw unclenching. The forest seems to breathe with you, the branches swaying lightly overhead in a rhythm that matches your inhale and exhale. A firefly drifts near the water, its glow soft and golden. It hovers for a moment, lighting up a tiny patch of the stream before floating upward and disappearing into the growing night. More appear, one by one, scattered like gentle lanterns, waking as day slowly gives way to night. The world is changing around you, not abruptly, but tenderly. The sky deepens into shades of indigo. The first stars sharpen. The warm hues of dusk dissolve into the cool comfort of night. And the stream reflects all of it, holding the transition with calm acceptance. You dip your fingers into the water. It's cool, smooth, flowing around your skin without hesitation. For a moment, you let the current wash over your hand, imagining it carrying away the last traces of any heaviness lingering in your mind. As you lift your hand back out, droplets fall, catching the faint moonlight that begins to peek above the treetops. The light grows stronger, stretching across the water in a shimmering path that seems to point forward, guiding you gently toward what comes next. The forest around you begins to glow in the subtle light. Shadows soften. Colors fade into calming tones. The night doesn't feel dark. It feels soothing, like a blanket settling around your shoulders. You rise slowly from the bank, taking one last look at the water. The stream continues on without end, just as your journey continues. Its calmness stays with you, settling deep in your chest as you step back onto the path. Ahead, the world glows softly, lantern-like fireflies drifting near the trail, the moon casting gentle light over the clearing. The air hums with quiet magic, inviting you to move deeper into the night. And this is where the next chapter begins. With soft lights guiding your steps, and the night welcoming you with open arms. As you step away from the stream, the soft glow of moonlight stretches across the path like a silver ribbon guiding your way. The sound of flowing water fades behind you, replaced by the quiet hum of the forest at night. A low, soothing vibration that seems to settle into your bones. The air feels cooler now, wrapped in a gentle embrace that drifts around your arms and shoulders like a shawl made of night itself. You take a slow step forward, then another, and that's when you notice them. At first, they appear as tiny dots of pale light hovering near the edges of your vision. Soft glimmers, like distant stars that somehow fell to earth. But as you walk a little further, those glimmers rise from the forest floor, lifting gently into the air. One spark becomes two become five, and soon dozens of golden lights drift around you, floating like lanterns suspended in the dusk. Fireflies, but not the quick, flickering kind you might remember from childhood. These fireflies glow slowly, steadily, each one pulsing in a gentle rhythm, as though breathing with you. Their light doesn't flash sharply. It swells, expands, softens. It feels intentional, almost mindful. They rise and fall in the air like tiny lanterns carried on invisible strings. Lanterns lighting the way. Lanterns born from stillness. You pause, watching them drift toward you, their warm glow brushing softly against your awareness. Each one feels like a tiny spark of insight, small moments of clarity that arise only when the mind finally settles. The Buddha's presence feels woven into their glow, subtle and comforting. The fireflies don't crowd you, they simply accompany you, drifting at a respectful distance, illuminating the path without overwhelming it. Their glow dances across the surrounding trees, painting the bark in soft gold and bringing out hidden textures in the leaves. The shadows they cast move slowly, swaying gently as the fireflies float from branch to branch, leaf to leaf. You take another step, and the fireflies respond, lifting slightly, almost as if they're acknowledging your movement. They drift ahead, forming a faint trail of light, not a straight line, but a gentle curve that winds through the forest like a soft invitation. You follow them, feeling a deep calm settle over you. The fireflies glow brighter when you breathe slowly, and dim slightly when you rush your steps, as though encouraging you to match their unhurried pace. Their rhythm becomes your rhythm. Their glow becomes your anchor. The forest, once dim, now feels alive with warmth. Every leaf seems to hold a tiny reflection of their light. Every branch feels touched by gentle intention. As you continue walking, the fireflies gather more closely, forming a loose archway overhead. Their glow illuminates the path beneath your feet, revealing the soft earth, scattered leaves, and smooth pebbles that guide your steps. The path itself begins to change, subtly at first, then more clearly. The ground feels firmer. The slope begins to rise, almost imperceptibly, leading toward higher terrain. You look ahead and notice how the fireflies drift upward along the incline, their lights climbing the emerging slope like tiny lanterns guiding travelers into a new chapter of their journey. A small mountain trail is waiting. The fireflies float around you in slow, spiraling patterns, gathering near the base of the incline. Their glow reflects off the beginning stones of the trail, lighting the first steps like candles placed with care and intention. You pause before the ascent, breath steady, body relaxed. The glow of the fireflies swells in unison, as if offering reassurance, reminding you that each step forward is supported by calmness, presence, and the quiet wisdom you've already begun to uncover. You place your foot on the first raised stone of the trail. The moment you do, the fireflies rise slightly, drifting upward along the path. The higher you look, the more lights you see, scattered like constellations guiding you toward a new horizon. The air shifts again, cooler still, but refreshing, like the breath drawn at the beginning of a meaningful climb. The forest sounds become softer, more distant, as if encouraging you to tune into your own inner quiet. The firefly's glow reflects off your skin, casting a warm, golden hue that feels like calm made visible. Each light seems to pulse with a deeper message. You are ready. You are steady. You can rise. You take another step. The fireflies dance around you, lifting higher. Another step. Their glow brightens. Another. The path begins to open. The mountain trail ahead isn't steep or harsh. It's gentle, inviting, created for a peaceful climb rather than a challenge. The fireflies float in a line along its curve, guiding you toward the place where the trees begin to thin and the air begins to change. You feel the shift in your breath, the way your chest expands more freely, the way each inhale feels like meeting a higher part of yourself. The lantern-like lights drift upward toward the base of the mountain path, marking the beginning of the next stretch of your journey. And as you take your final step into this gently rising trail, the fireflies gather one last time, forming a soft halo of gold that lights the beginning of the ascent. This is where your journey continues, toward higher ground, toward deeper calm, toward the quiet strength of the mountains. The fireflies drift upward ahead of you, their warm glow rising like tiny lanterns marking a gentle ascent. As you step onto the mountain trail, the ground beneath your feet changes. Firmer now, more grounded, sprinkled with smooth stones that have been shaped by years of quiet weather and steady time. The air thins just a little, not enough to strain you, but enough to remind you that you're moving toward higher ground, both in the world around you and in yourself. The forest behind you hums softly, fading into the background like a memory growing quiet. Ahead, the path curves upward with an easy slope, inviting you forward rather than challenging you. Each step you take feels purposeful but unhurried, matching the natural rhythm of your breath. Inhale, and your chest expands like a morning bloom. Exhale, and the tension in your body drains into the earth beneath you. With every step, the mountains ahead begin to reveal themselves more clearly, broad silhouettes rising against the deepening sky, steady and unmoving. They stand like ancient teachers, offering no commands, no pressure, only presence. Their calmness is immense. Even from a distance, you can feel the quiet strength they hold. The fireflies guide your progress, floating ahead in a slow, drifting pattern. They weave gently between low shrubs and larger stones, always staying just far enough ahead to lead without pulling, just close enough to reassure you that you're never alone on this path. Their glow reflects faintly off the stones, sketching out the trail with soft lines of light. As you climb, the air cools further, brushing against your face like a gentle hand. The world becomes quieter here, more open. The trees thin just slightly, allowing more of the sky to appear between their branches. The moon climbs higher, its pale glow settling across the trail like a blessing. You step carefully, but easily. Your body finds its natural pace. Your mind settles into a slow rhythm that mirrors the mountain's solidity. The mountain doesn't rush you. It simply exists, offering itself as a symbol of inner steadiness. The reminder that strength is not about force, but about presence. The Buddha's calm energy rises within you again, subtle but steady, like a hand on your shoulder, keeping your steps grounded, and sure. With every footfall, you feel a little more connected to the earth. The stones beneath your shoes feel deliberate, placed with intention. The small shifts in the incline encourage you to remain conscious of your footing, your breath, your posture, but not in a demanding way. More like a gentle nudge toward awareness. Your breath deepens. Your steps soften. Your shoulders drop. And slowly, the world around you expands. As you ascend, the sky above grows wider. Clouds drift lazily across the stars, not hiding them, just softening their glow. The horizon stretches out in quiet layers, shades of blue blending into the faintest silver. You can feel yourself rising above the noise of the day, each step lifting you further from what you carried earlier. A small breeze sweeps through the trail, carrying the scent of mountain herbs, fresh, cool, grounding. You inhale deeply, letting the aroma settle into your ribs, your throat, your mind. It feels like the mountain is sharing a part of itself with you, offering the simple medicine of clean air and silence. You continue along the path until it switches direction, curving gently around the side of a large boulder. As you round it, the view opens wider, revealing the valley below. Soft shadows drape across its surface, like a patchwork quilt laid out carefully by the night. The world feels vast, yet incredibly quiet, held in a kind of sacred stillness. You pause there for a moment, letting the beauty settle into you. There's no rush. The mountain isn't going anywhere. The fireflies hover patiently just ahead, their golden light pulsing like slow heartbeats. The Buddha's presence feels stronger here, calm, grounded, expansive, not commanding your journey, but standing with you in it, whispering without words. Every step matters. Every step is enough. Every step carries peace, if you allow it. You breathe this in. You let it reshape the way your feet touch the earth. The incline softens after a few more steps, and your body responds with a natural sigh of relief. The path widens suddenly, opening into a small clearing. The ground is level here, covered in fine grass and a few scattered stones that glint under the moon. It feels like a resting place, quiet, intentional, made for exactly this moment. The fireflies drift toward the center of the clearing, spreading out like a soft constellation at ground level. Their glow warms the space, turning it into a tiny sanctuary in the middle of the mountain trail. You feel the invitation instantly. Your body recognizes it even before your mind does. A place to pause, to breathe, to let the climb settle into your muscles and your mind. The mountain has led you here gently, and the night waits patiently for your next breath. This is where the next chapter begins, a quiet place to sit, to rest, and to let peace deepen. You step into the small clearing, and immediately the air changes, lighter, gentler, as if the mountain is offering you a quiet exhale. The glow of the fireflies settles into the grass, flickering softly like embers, drifting through a dream. Your breath loosens on its own, and your body seems to know what it needs even before your mind catches up. Just a few steps into the clearing, you notice it, a simple wooden bench. It rests beneath a sturdy pine tree, its surface smooth with age, edges softened by years of weather and peace. It isn't fancy or ornate. It doesn't need to be. It feels like it was placed here for one purpose: to offer a moment of stillness to travelers who have climbed just far enough to need a pause. You walk toward it slowly, guided not by urgency, but by the quiet pull of comfort. As you sit down, the bench shifts gently under your weight, welcoming you with the familiar creak of old wood. The sound is soft, warm, almost reassuring, like the bench itself is saying, "You can rest here. Just breathe." You settle into the seat, letting your spine lengthen and your shoulders fall. The cool mountain air brushes against your face. The world no longer feels like a place you must move through quickly. It feels like a place that finally invites you to simply be. For a long moment, you don't move. You don't try to think or push away thoughts. You simply sit. The Buddha's calm presence gathers around you again, gentle, spacious, warm, not as a figure beside you, but as a quiet awareness within you. It wraps through your breath, your heartbeat, the soft weight of your hands resting in your lap. It feels like you're sitting with an old friend whose silence is more comforting than words. A subtle breeze stirs the branches above you, and the pine needles rustle in a soft, rhythmic whisper. You can smell the wood, earthy, clean, grounding. The fireflies drift closer, their warm light flickering around the bench like tiny candles placed with intention. This moment feels like a pause in the fabric of time. Inhale, and your chest fills with cool mountain air. Exhale, and every strain you've been carrying loosens just a little more. As you breathe, memories or worries might drift into your awareness. But instead of pushing them away, you simply watch them, like leaves floating down a stream, passing through without clinging. The Buddha's compassion settles deeper within you, reminding you gently that it's okay to feel whatever arises. You don't need to rush your healing. You don't need to force clarity. You only need to sit with yourself the way you would sit with someone you love, patiently, kindly, without judgment. You place a hand over your chest, feeling the slow rise and fall beneath your palm. Your heartbeat is steady, calm, like a small drum, keeping time with the rhythm of the world around you. You offer yourself a quiet thought, not spoken aloud, but felt. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to soften. I am allowed to simply be. These gentle affirmations settle into you like warm tea, no force, no expectation, just warmth spreading through your ribs, dissolving old knots of tension. Above you, the moon begins its slow rise over the mountain ridge. Its glow filters through the branches, laying pale silver streaks across the clearing. The firefly's golden light blends with the moon's cool shine, creating a soft, balanced glow that wraps the entire clearing in serenity. You look toward the path you came from and the path that continues upward. Both feel welcoming. Both feel patient. The mountain doesn't push you to choose. It lets you rest in the in-between. Time doesn't matter here. Breath does. Presence does. Your softening does. Eventually, the quiet inside you begins to expand, not into emptiness, but into peace, a gentle spaciousness that feels like the inside of a deep breath held tenderly in the chest. The Buddha's presence feels even warmer now, spreading like a soft light through your awareness. When you finally stand from the bench, you do so slowly, not because you're tired, but because you've grown comfortable in this stillness. Your feet feel steady, your breath grounded, your mind calmer than before. The moment you rise, a beam of moonlight slips through a gap in the branches, falling directly onto the path ahead. It lights the way upward, as if reminding you that rest is not the end of the journey, just a part of it. The fireflies drift upward again, gathering in a loose arc that follows the moonlit trail. Their glow pulses lightly, guiding you forward with the same gentle patience they've shown since the forest began to darken. And as you take your first step away from the bench, your body feels renewed, lighter, softer, ready for what comes next. This is where the next chapter begins, with the moon rising over your path and the night inviting you to continue your peaceful climb. As you leave the quiet bench behind, the earth feels different beneath your feet, lighter somehow, as though your rest carved a little more ease into the ground itself. The fireflies drift ahead once more, their soft glow rising toward the sky like tiny sparks carried upward on an invisible breeze. You follow the curve of their light until your gaze lifts, almost instinctively, toward the moon. It hangs above the mountain path, round and luminous, glowing with a patient calm. The moon here isn't sharp or blinding. It's soft, almost velvety, its light spilling across the trail like a quiet blessing. Where sunlight presses, moonlight embraces. Where day illuminates with clarity, night reveals with gentleness. You take a slow breath, feeling the moonlight settle along your shoulders, your arms, the crown of your head. The light feels cool but comforting, a reminder that wisdom doesn't always arrive with the loudness of revelation. Sometimes it comes like this: soft, steady, constant. A glow that doesn't demand your attention, but offers guidance simply by being present. You walk forward, and your shadow stretches long and slow along the path. The way the moonlight touches the earth makes everything feel serene and tender. The stones, the grass, the scattered pine needles all shimmer faintly as if coated in powdered silver. Each step seems to awaken a subtle shimmer beneath your feet, a quiet sparkle that appears only for a heartbeat before fading again. The mountain path inclines slightly, but the slope feels gentle, almost welcoming. You breathe with intention, letting your steps fall in a natural rhythm that syncs with your heartbeat. Inhale as your foot rises. Exhale as it lands softly on the ground. The trees around you shift with the moonlight. Their branches cast long patterns across the trail, swirls of shadow and light that move with the breeze. As you continue walking, the forest seems to grow stiller, more attentive, as if listening to your footsteps. You sense the mountain paying attention too, holding you in its quiet presence. The Buddha's calm energy rises within you again, not as a dramatic surge, but as a soft, steadying warmth. Wisdom, like moonlight, doesn't always come in flashes. Often, it's found in the slow, patient movement of your own breath, in the silence that follows your exhale, in the simple act of walking with awareness. Your mind drifts, but not in a chaotic way. Thoughts appear, soften, and pass, like clouds drifting across the moon. The path ahead stays clear, silver lit, gently curving as it continues up the mountain. You follow its contours, trusting the glow beneath your feet. As you continue walking, the fireflies begin to spread out again, drifting into the forest around you. They no longer form a single guiding line. Instead, they scatter into the trees, illuminating the edges of your journey in a wide, soft halo. Their glow flickers between branches, catches on leaves, flashes across stones. The world feels alive, yet peaceful. The night air cools further, brushing along your cheeks like a soothing touch. You tilt your head slightly upward, letting the moonlight hit your face fully. It's gentle enough to feel like a quiet reassurance. No pressure, no expectation, just presence. As you inhale again, you feel your breath deepen. The calm inside you expands in a quiet ripple, moving down into your chest, into your belly, into your legs. The mountain feels like it's breathing with you. Its slow exhale brushing through the trees, its quiet heartbeat thrumming beneath your feet. You walk a little further until the trees thin enough for the sky to open wider above you. The moon hangs almost directly overhead now, bathing the path in silver clarity. Ahead, the trail bends slightly, hugging the shape of the mountain. As you turn with it, the world opens into a small overlook, a gentle rise where the valley below is visible through the trees. You pause there, letting your gaze drift across the soft shapes of the land. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. It feels like the whole world has settled into a moment of pure, unbroken calm. And then, softly, faintly, something new reaches your ears. A delicate sound carried on the breeze. At first you think it might be the branches clinking together, but no, this sound is lighter, thinner, almost crystalline. It hangs in the air for a heartbeat, then fades, then returns again like a gentle call. A wind chime. Far ahead on the path, hidden behind a curve or hanging from a tree you have yet to reach. Its soft notes drift toward you, clear, peaceful, floating like tiny bells rung by the night itself. The moonlight seems to brighten just slightly, illuminating the direction from which the sound comes. You take one slow step forward, then another. The faint chime sings again, guiding you gently onward. This is where the next part of the journey begins, following the soft song of the breeze toward the wisdom waiting up ahead. The soft ringing comes again, light, delicate, almost shy, as if it's testing the air before inviting you closer. You follow the sound, letting the notes guide your steps. Each chime drifts through the night like a silver thread, pulling gently at your awareness. The path curves subtly, and the moonlight stretches along it like a ribbon showing you exactly where to go. As you approach the source, the sound grows clearer, not louder, just more distinct, like the chime is becoming familiar to your ears. Finally, On a slender branch extending over the trail, you see it, a single wind chime. Hanging from a thin cord tied effortlessly to the branch, the chime sways in the night breeze. It's simple. 5 narrow pieces of brushed metal suspended around a tiny wooden bead. But its beauty is undeniable. The metal glimmers softly under the moonlight, as if holding small pieces of the night sky within its surface. A breeze comes through the trees. The chime moves, and its voice rings again. Soft, bright, gentle. You step closer, drawn in by the sound. The chime's tone feels like something familiar you didn't realize you'd forgotten. It reminds you of the clarity found in still moments, the kind that appear when you finally stop forcing the mind to behave and allow it to rest in its own spaciousness. The wind chime doesn't resist the breeze. It doesn't tense. It doesn't fight. It moves with whatever comes. When the breeze is strong, it sings with strength. When the breeze is faint, it whispers. And when the air grows still, it simply rests, quiet, composed, unbothered. You stand there watching it, and it becomes clear why the chime feels like a teaching. It mirrors the very nature of acceptance. The Buddha's calm presence settles beside you like a warm silence. Not instructional, not corrective, just present. You can almost sense the soft, steady truth being offered through the chime's movements. That peace isn't created by controlling every moment, but by letting each moment be exactly what it is. The next breeze arrives, brushing your skin with a cool, refreshing touch. The chime sways, singing its silver note again. You breathe with it. Inhale as it rises, exhale as it falls back to stillness. The sound vibrates gently through the clearing, blending with the soft rustle of leaves above. For a moment, everything feels perfectly synchronized. The chime song, your breath, the breeze, the rustle of the forest, even the slow beat of your heart. You place your hand lightly on your chest again, feeling that same steady rhythm you touched back at the bench. But now it feels a little softer, a little more open. The chime sound seems to resonate in your ribs, singing back to you from within. A thought drifts through your mind. I don't have to brace myself for every change. I can move with the moment, just like the chime does. I can let life breeze through me without losing my center. The realization doesn't strike like lightning. It settles like dew, soft, natural, inevitable. You close your eyes briefly, listening. The chime rings again, a gentle chorus with the breeze. When you open your eyes, the path ahead glows faintly. The fireflies have gathered once more, floating near the edge of the clearing like tiny golden messengers waiting patiently for you. The moonlight rests over them, turning the air around the path into a soft wash of silver and gold. You give the chime one last glance. As if in response, it sings again. A light farewell, a soft blessing, a reminder to move gently with whatever comes next. You bow your head slightly, not a formal bow, but a small gesture of gratitude. The chime continues its slow dance behind you as you step back onto the path, its notes trailing after you like a fading echo. The forest begins to shift again as you walk. The trees grow a little farther apart, The canopy above loosens, allowing more of the sky to filter through. Moonlight spills more easily onto the ground now, painting the path with pale silver streaks. The air feels wider. Your breath feels freer. Your steps feel lighter. The chime's teaching lingers in your body, the sense that you can move with life, not against it. That ease is found not in trying to control the wind, but in learning to sway with its direction. Up ahead, the forest thins further. The trees spread out. The path widens, and a soft glow appears beyond the next bend. An opening, a clearing, a place where the night sky might reveal even more. This is where the next part of your journey begins, where the forest opens and a new view waits to greet you. You continue walking as the sound of the wind chime fades behind you, replaced by the soft hum of the open night. The forest thins with every step, the trees spreading farther apart as if giving you more and more room to breathe. The moonlight grows stronger too, slipping through the branches like quiet streams of silver. The path begins to rise in a smooth, natural incline. It's gentle enough not to tire you, but deliberate enough that you can feel your body leaning slightly forward, carried upward by curiosity as much as by your feet. The forest seems to walk with you. It sounds softer, more distant now, as though encouraging you to move towards something new. A few more steps, and the incline crests. You lift your gaze, and then the forest opens. The hilltop clearing reveals itself in one soft, breathtaking sweep. It stretches wide and open, a gentle plateau nestled at the mountain's shoulder. Moonlight washes the space in pale gold, turning the grass into waves of silver that ripple in the breeze. In the distance, the valley sprawls below, rolling shapes of shadow and soft dark green, quiet and immense, like the earth resting peacefully beneath a blanket of night. You take a slow step into the clearing, feeling the ground level beneath your feet. The air is different here, lighter, cooler, almost sweet. It brushes across your face and through your hair with a soft honesty, carrying the scent of wild grass and the crisp hint of elevation. You pause near the center of the clearing, and the world feels vast, not overwhelming. Nothing sharp or heavy, just open, softly, deeply open. The valley seems to breathe with you. The sky stretches endlessly above you. The mountain holds you in a quiet embrace. And in this wide stillness, the Buddha's presence feels clearer than ever. Not as a shape or a voice, but as an expansion inside your chest. A spacious awareness, like a lantern lit within your ribs, glowing without urgency. It feels steady, grounded, endlessly patient. For a moment, you close your eyes. The clearing becomes a container for your breath, your thoughts, your whole being. You feel yourself widen on the inside, matching the openness around you. Inhale, and the world expands. Exhale, and your body softens. When you open your eyes again, the valley below seems even more peaceful than before. The moonlight drapes over it like a thin veil. Distant ridges rise and fall in quiet rhythm, as though mirroring the natural pulse of the earth itself. You take a few slow steps across the clearing, feeling the cool grass brush lightly against your ankles. Your footprints leave faint impressions in the dew-softened ground, but even these impressions feel soft, like the world is holding you gently, not weighing you down. You look around the clearing. The air is still, yet alive, quiet, yet full. You feel small in the way a drop of water belongs to the ocean, not insignificant, but connected. A breeze drifts across the clearing, swirling the grass and brushing your clothes against your skin. It carries a subtle warmth now, the kind that doesn't come from temperature, but from familiarity, from being welcomed, from belonging. Your attention drifts toward the far edge of the clearing. The moonlight hits something there, something narrow, simple, and gently curved. At first, it looks like part of the landscape, just another soft shape among shadows. But as you walk closer, the structure becomes clearer. A small footbridge, made of smooth wooden planks, gently arched, resting over a shallow dip in the terrain. It isn't large or grand. It's delicate, almost humble, as though it was built not for crossing distance, but for crossing moments, for shifting from one state of mind into another. You walk toward it slowly, the grass whispering around your legs. The fireflies from earlier reappear, floating near the edges of the bridge, like tiny guardians marking a peaceful threshold. Their soft gold glow blends with the moonlight reflected on the wood, creating a tender shimmer that seems to beckon you forward. The bridge is symbolic immediately. You can feel it without needing to name it. A transition, a passage, a gentle guidance to step into a deeper layer of calm. The Buddha's presence lifts inside you again, warm and steady, as if inviting you to take this step without fear, without expectation, only with breath, only with awareness. You place your hand on the smooth wooden rail. The wood is cool, calming. You take in another slow breath. Exhale softly. The night waits for you. The bridge waits for you. This is where the next part of your journey begins. A quiet crossing into even deeper stillness. You take one slow breath as you stand before the little wooden bridge, the moonlight pooling softly across its curved planks. The fireflies hovering around it drift in gentle arcs, their golden light catching on the smooth railings like sparks of guidance laid out just for you. The clearing behind you feels spacious and open, but the bridge beckons with a different kind of peace, something deeper, more inward, like stepping quietly into a doorway of stillness. You place one foot onto the first plank. It gives a soft creak beneath your weight, not harsh, not brittle, just a gentle acknowledgement that you've arrived. The wood feels cool and smooth under your soles, worn by years of wind, rain, and quiet travelers who crossed it long before you. The sound blends perfectly with the night, a faint sigh that settles into the rhythm of the forest. You take another step, then another. The bridge arches subtly enough that you feel a slight lift in your body as you walk upward. With each step, the world around you seems to hush even more. The rustling leaves soften. The distant insect hum fades. Even the wind quiets, as if observing your crossing with a kind of reverent silence. The Buddha's presence feels close again, gentle and steady, like a calm hand at the center of your back. Not pushing, not steering, just reminding you that every step you take is supported, that transitions, even small ones, hold meaning. You pause in the middle of the bridge, letting your gaze drift downward toward the shallow dip beneath it. Moonlight reflects faintly on the smooth stones scattered below, creating tiny islands of silver in the dark. A soft breeze flows through the beams beneath you, rising up through the slats with a cool whisper. The bridge creaks again, responding to the breath of the Yeso, night, its voice low and comforting. You rest your hand lightly on the rail. It's solid, unhurried, steady, a reminder that even in moments of transition, you can trust your footing. Your breath deepens. Inhale, feel the rise of your chest. Exhale, feel your shoulders drop, your body soften. As you continue walking, the fireflies gather at the far end of the bridge, forming a delicate cluster of golden light. Their glow pulses slowly, matching the rhythm of your breath. You reach them just as they drift upward, rising like tiny lanterns and dispersing into the night sky. On the other side, the landscape shifts subtly again. The clearing is replaced by a narrow path, bordered by tall grass and low shrubs, each one brushing gently against your legs as you step through. The grass sways in unison with your movement, creating a soft shh that feels like the earth itself offering reassurance. The path is smoother here, more intentional, as if shaped by hands that understood the value of moving quietly. Hands that built places meant for rest, reflection, and deep calm. You walk slowly, letting the transition settle into your body. A bridge is never just a bridge. It's a passage, a shift from one state of being into another. As you move forward, you can feel something inside you loosening further. The world behind the bridge feels farther now, softer, like an old dream you've already learned from and gently released. Ahead, the path leads toward a faint structure emerging through the night shadows. At first, it's only a shape, a dim outline. But as you move closer, the moonlight begins to reveal more. Low walls, a sloping roof, and the suggestion of a wide doorway left open, as if waiting for someone exactly like you. A sanctuary, not towering or elaborate, simple, grounded, peaceful. The kind of place built not to impress, but to quiet the mind. The closer you get, the more you feel a subtle shift in the air. The breeze calms. The fireflies drift away, as if giving space to a deeper kind of stillness. Even your footsteps seem to soften, the sound of your tread swallowed by the calm, radiating from the structure ahead. The sanctuary seems to breathe, not literally, but in the way presence fills a space. There's a warmth radiating from it, not heat, but an emotional warmth, a sense of welcome. The Buddha's presence accompanies you again, woven through the quiet like a low, steady hum. You feel it in your heartbeat, in the unhurried quality of your steps, in the ease settling across your shoulders. The crossing of the bridge wasn't just a movement across space. It was the invitation into this deeper peace. You reach the final few steps of the path leading to the entrance. The doorway stands open, revealing only soft darkness inside, a calm kind of darkness, warm and inviting, like the inside of a deep breath. As you stand at its threshold, the night around you grows still. The bridge behind you feels distant. The sanctuary ahead feels like the next natural moment waiting to unfold. This is where the next chapter begins. Inside the quiet walls of a place meant for reflection. A place where silence speaks its own kind of wisdom. You step toward the open doorway of the sanctuary, the soft night air settling behind you like a closing curtain. The transition from the moonlit clearing to this sheltered space feels natural, as though the mountain itself has guided you gently from the outer world into something more intimate, more sacred. Each footfall becomes quieter as the ground beneath you shifts from soft earth to smooth stone, cool, steady, grounding. Inside the entrance, the path narrows slightly and curves, inviting you deeper. You follow it at an easy pace, letting the quiet guide your breath. The night sounds fade behind you until all that remains is the soft whisper of wind weaving through beams and leaves above. After a few steps, you see it. A pair of tall, wooden gates. They rise on either side of the path, old but beautifully preserved. The wood is deep brown, worn smooth by time, wind, and the hands of countless travelers. Carved into their surfaces are gentle lines, nothing ornate, nothing exaggerated. Just simple, flowing shapes that resemble waves, leaves, or maybe even the swirls of the breath itself. Symbols of movement, symbols of peace. The gates aren't imposing. They don't tower with authority. Instead, they stand with quiet dignity, as if they understand their purpose fully and don't need to announce it. Their presence alone shifts the atmosphere around you. The air becomes slower, heavier in the peaceful way that invites reflection rather than resistance. A small lantern hangs above them, its dim flame flickering behind a screen of frosted paper. The light glows warmly across the wood, revealing the soft grain of its surface. Shadows sway gently as the lantern sways in the night breeze, casting delicate patterns that shimmer across the gate. You pause there for a moment, letting the stillness settle around you. Your breath slows. Your shoulders soften again. Your mind grows quieter, not empty, just less burdened. As you stand in front of the gates, you feel something familiar rise inside you. The Buddha's calm presence. It isn't dramatic. It feels like a soft light within your chest expanding slightly, making room for deeper peace. You lift your hand and touch the gate. The wood is cool beneath your fingertips. Solid, grounded, steady. You feel a subtle reverberation, like the memory of all the quiet moments this gate has witnessed. You imagine the many people who stood here, just as you are now, breathing deeply before stepping inside. A breath of wind pushes through the branches above, and the lantern sways more noticeably. The gates move, slowly, almost as if waking from a deep meditation. They begin to open. The sound is low and soft, wood sliding against stone, gentle and deliberate. The gates never creak or protest. They open with the same ease you've been learning to walk with tonight. As the gap widens, warm light spills through from the other side. You step forward. Beyond the gates lies a serene courtyard, bathed in a soft amber glow from lanterns arranged along its perimeter. The ground is a smooth mix of stones and moss, each step cushioned by the natural give of earth. A few trees stand peacefully within the courtyard, thin, tall, branches gently swaying in the light breeze. Their leaves catch the lantern light, shimmering like tiny sparks drifting through the air. The space feels protected, wrapped in a kind of quiet that encourages your breath to deepen the moment you enter. You feel like you've stepped inside the heart of the mountain, its peaceful center, its quiet wisdom made manifest. You walk slowly across the courtyard, taking your time to absorb the stillness. Each lantern flickers gently, throwing soft shadows across the ground, like ripples drawn by flame. The silence is comforting, warm, alive with presence. In the center of the courtyard, a single stone basin holds crystal clear water. The surface reflects the lantern light perfectly, shimmering like liquid gold. A soft trickle flows from a bamboo spout, each drop tapping the surface with a rhythmic plip that settles into your chest like a heartbeat at rest. The Buddha's presence deepens around you. The air feels thicker, but in a grounding way, as if inviting you to settle into your body more fully. You pause at the basin and dip your fingers lightly into the water. It's cool and refreshing, sending a gentle wave of clarity up your arm and into your breath. You lift your gaze. Across the courtyard stands another structure, simple, quiet, and beautifully symmetrical. Wooden beams frame the wide doorway, which is open, revealing only soft shadow inside. You recognize it immediately. A meditation hall. The lanterns near its entrance flicker softly, casting light onto the wooden floorboards. The hall seems to breathe with the night, slow, steady, peaceful. It feels like a space where the world pauses completely, where the mind can rest as deeply as the body. Your feet turn toward it naturally. Your breath deepens without effort. Your body relaxes even more as you take your first step in its direction. This is where the next chapter begins, walking toward the quiet heart of the sanctuary, toward the stillness waiting inside the meditation hall. You step toward the open doorway of the meditation hall, the wooden floor catching the lantern light in soft, warm bands. As you cross the threshold, the air changes instantly. It becomes still, not dead or heavy, but perfectly quiet, like the space has been waiting for you. The hush isn't empty. It feels full, like a bowl overflowing with a silence so deep it becomes its own kind of presence. Your eyes adjust slowly to the dimness inside. The hall is wide, open, and uncluttered. Soft beams stretch across the ceiling, their shadows lying calm and steady along the polished floor. The walls are bare, except for subtle patterns in the wood, flowing grain that looks like gentle waves frozen in time. Every detail speaks of simplicity, of purpose, of quiet intention. You take a few steps forward. Your footsteps are barely audible, softened by the smooth wooden boards. The hall doesn't echo. It absorbs your movement with a kind of loving stillness, as though it understands that this is a place not meant for noise, but for inner rest. At the center of the hall lies a single meditation cushion, round, simple, dark in color, resting on a woven mat. It faces the far side of the hall, where a low altar sits adorned with nothing more than a single bowl and an unlit candle. No elaborate statues, no decorations, no distractions, just emptiness that feels comforting rather than lacking. You walk toward the cushion with slow, mindful steps. The Buddha's presence settles around you again, not as a form, but as a soft awareness that fills the room. The hall feels sacred, not because of what is inside it, but because of what is not it. There is space here, real space, for thoughts to stretch, for breath to deepen, for the mind to soften its grip on everything it clings to. You lower yourself onto the cushion. It gives just enough beneath your weight to feel welcoming, grounding. The woven mat beneath it is textured and warm. As you settle into a comfortable position, the hall seems to grow even quieter, as if retreating just enough to make room for your inner world. You close your eyes. At first, your breath feels shallow, tentative, like it's waiting to see how much space it's allowed to take up. But within a few cycles, your lungs soften, your chest opens, and your breath begins to lengthen on its own. Inhale. A wave of calm rising through your body. Exhale. Shoulders lowering, muscles loosening, thoughts untangling. The silence around you becomes a partner in your breathing. Each inhale feels like the hall expanding with you. Each exhale feels like the hall settling with you. With your eyes closed, the darkness behind your lids changes texture. It becomes warmer, softer, deeper, like sinking into a quiet lake where nothing tries to pull you in any direction except inward. Thoughts drift in, but not with force. They float like gentle echoes of your day, touching the surface of your awareness before fading away again. You let them go without effort. You don't chase them. You don't hold them. You simply watch them rise and fall, like waves dissolving before they can crest. In this stillness, something inside you begins to widen, a spaciousness you didn't realize you needed. Your breath becomes a soft rhythm in the vastness, a warm pulse in an otherwise silent universe. The Buddha's presence hums faintly within you, a reminder that your inner world is naturally peaceful when you give it permission to rest. You sit there for what feels like a long, gentle moment, timeless and grounding. The hall holds you without pressure. There is no instruction, no expectation, just presence. Eventually, you open your eyes. The hall looks different now, not brighter, just more alive. It feels as though the walls are breathing with you, the beams above holding your stillness with care, the floor grounding your body more deeply into the moment. You feel calmer, softer, more present than you have all night. You rise slowly from the cushion, feeling a warmth in your legs and a clarity in your chest. When you stand fully, the hall seems to glow faintly in the lantern light coming from the courtyard. Your steps are lighter, almost effortless, as you move toward the altar at the far end of the room. There, beside the small unlit candle, sits a simple metal bell. You don't touch it. You don't need to. Instead, as if sensing your shift from stillness back into movement, a soft breeze flows through the open doorway behind you. The bell rings. One single note, clear, pure, bright as moonlight, soft as breath. The sound fills the hall, vibrating gently through your chest, then drifting upward into the beams above before dissolving into the night. It's a call, not a command. A simple, peaceful invitation toward what comes next. You take one step toward the door, following the fading echo. This is where the next chapter begins, with the bell's quiet guidance, leading you toward the garden of silent blossoms waiting outside. The bell's tone lingers in the air, long after its single note has faded. It hums softly in your chest, like a memory vibrating just beneath the surface of your breath. You stand still in the quiet meditation hall, letting the last shimmer of sound settle into you. It feels less like a ringing and more like a reminder, gentle, familiar, and deeply grounding. You inhale softly. The bell's echo seems to expand with that breath. You exhale slowly. The echo settles deeper into your ribs. There is a sense of returning, but not to any place outside yourself. Returning inward. Returning to presence. Returning to the quiet home that exists in your own awareness. The hall holds its stillness with reverence. Even the air feels like it has bowed its head, observing the silence left behind by the bell. The Buddha's presence feels warm again, subtle, comforting, like a light placed somewhere behind your heart. It's not instructing you. It's not pushing you. It's simply inviting you to notice the peace already rising within. You begin to walk toward the open doorway. Your step is soft, but your awareness is sharper, clearer. The sound of your foot touching the wood feels almost like part of the bell's aftertone. As you move, you realize that the bell didn't just mark the end of your meditation. It opened the next doorway of your journey. Each step you take feels like walking out of a long-held breath. The hall remains behind you, but its stillness stays with you, tucked quietly into your chest. The doorway brightens as you approach it. Lantern light spills across the floor in warm strokes, contrasting with the hall's cool shadows. When you step out into the courtyard, the air greets you with a gentle breeze, cool enough to refresh you, warm enough to feel familiar, like a soft welcome back into the open night. The bell's echo drifts into the courtyard with you, dissolving into the rustling leaves above. The lanterns sway slightly, their light flickering against the trunks of the trees. The courtyard feels different now, almost as though it has shifted around your breath. The stone basin glimmers at the center, its water rippling in delicate circles from the touch of the breeze. You pause for a moment, letting your senses open. The scent of night blossoms drifts through the air, light, sweet, subtle. The coolness of the stone beneath your feet grounds you. The soft glow of the lanterns calms your eyes. Everything feels quiet, yet full. Still, yet deeply alive. It's the kind of quiet that beckons you further, gently encouraging you to explore the peace spreading through this sanctuary space. The bell's message sits quietly inside you now. Return to yourself. Remember your breath. Rest in the home that lives within. As if responding to that message, the courtyard seems to guide your attention toward the far side, where a narrow stone path breaks away from the center. It winds softly between two slender trees before disappearing behind flowering bushes. The path is lit faintly by lanterns placed low to the ground, their light brushing softly over petals and leaves. You take a step toward it, feeling the ground shift from smooth stone to cool, dewy earth. The grass brushes lightly against your ankles again, reminding you of the mountain's earlier embrace. The air carries another hint of blossoms, this time richer, like something is blooming in abundance just beyond your sight. As you move closer to the path, you hear it. Barely. Soft as breath. The rustling of flowers. Their petals brushing gently against each other in the night breeze, creating a faint whisper that blends with your footsteps. The sound is calming, rhythmic, almost like the earth is exhaling. You follow the path, guided not only by the lanterns but by the soft, luminous glow of blossoms ahead. The closer you get, the more the scent deepens. A soothing, floral sweetness that settles your mind and loosens the last remnants of tension in your shoulders. The path widens slightly. A gentle shift in the air hints at an opening. The soft glow brightens. The fragrance blooms fully. And then you see it. A quiet garden filled with night-blooming flowers. Petals unfurled beneath the moon, glowing softly as though lit from within. Their colors appear muted in the dim light, but their presence feels vibrant, alive, tender. This is the garden the bell guided you toward. A place where blossoms open only in stillness, where peace flowers in the quiet hours of night. You step toward it, drawn by its softness, its serenity, its subtle invitation. This is where the next chapter begins, among silent blossoms, beneath moonlit petals that bloom without a sound. You step forward into the soft glow of the garden, and the air seems to shift around you, cooler, sweeter, almost velvety against your skin. The flowers ahead open like quiet lanterns beneath the moon, each blossom holding its own gentle light. They're not bright or dazzling. Their glow is subtle, warm, tender. The kind of beauty that doesn't shout for your attention, but waits for your presence to arrive naturally. You move slowly, letting the scene unfold around you. Moonlight drapes itself across the petals, turning them pale shades of silver, lavender, and soft gold. The blossoms sway gently in the breeze, not rustling like leaves, but moving as if exhaling. A soft pulse that syncs with your breath. Inhale. The delicate fragrance fills your senses. Exhale. Your entire body begins to soften. The flowers seem to bloom in silence, not because the night is quiet, but because they've mastered the art of opening gently. They teach without words. They reveal without effort. Their unfolding mirrors your own inner expansion. The way your mind, heart, and breath have been gradually loosening since the journey began. You walk between them carefully, the petals brushing lightly against your clothing as you pass. The contact is so soft it feels like the garden is acknowledging your presence, not intruding or clinging, just offering a moment of connection. Each blossom seems to carry a small piece of the moonlight within it, a soft, steady glow that leaves a trail of warmth across the path. The Buddha's presence rises again in your awareness as you move deeper into the garden. Not as a shape or a voice, but as a feeling, an inner blooming that mirrors the quiet flowers around you. It's a sense of compassion, of gentle unfolding, like the petals of a lotus rising from still water. You pause near a cluster of blossoms shaped like stars. Their petals stretch outward, catching every flicker of light the moon offers. You kneel beside them, allowing their scent to rise to your face. The aroma is delicate, calming, and seems to carry a subtle message. You don't need to open all at once. You can bloom at your own pace. Gentle unfolding is still unfolding. The breeze moves through the garden again, stirring the blossoms in a wave that passes from one end to the other. The petals ripple like a soft breath moving across the earth. The sound, barely audible at all, resembles silk brushing against silk. It's not silence, not exactly. It's something better. A harmony of quiet things. You sit on a smooth stone for a moment, letting the scene fill you. Around you, the flowers glowing under the night sky create a world that feels almost suspended in time. You feel a warmth in your chest, not heat, but ease, a feeling of being held gently by the moment, as though the entire garden exists just to remind you that peace can bloom without force. You breathe in again. The scent of the blossoms fills your lungs. It feels like inhaling tenderness. You breathe out. Your thoughts loosen further, slipping like petals drifting downstream. You let your gaze wander across the garden's gentle slopes. Blossoms cluster around slender trees, gather at the base of mossy rocks, and spill over small mounds of earth like moonlit rivers. Each patch of flowers seems to glow with a slightly different hue. Cool silvers in the shade, warmer golds where the lantern light from the courtyard reaches. As you walk again, you notice how the garden seems to guide you without forcing your direction. The blossoms part naturally as the path curves. Their shapes create soft barriers and quiet openings. You follow the natural lines of the scene, letting the flowers lead you as if they've charted a peaceful route through their own blooming world. A handful of petals drift down from a tree above you, landing gently along the path. You watch them settle, their descent slow and graceful. Even in falling, they move with peace. Every part of this garden teaches the same gentle truth. Peace grows where there is space. Peace blooms where pressure eases. Peace shines when nothing is forced. As you continue, the blossoms begin to thin, opening into a wider clearing within the garden. At the far end, you notice something different. A narrow, smooth stone path, emerging from between patches of glowing flowers. The stones reflect faint hints of moonlight, forming a soft trail that curves out of the garden and into the next quiet stretch of the sanctuary. The flowers here seem to frame the beginning of the path, arching slightly like they're offering a soft farewell, or maybe a blessing for the road ahead. The petals nearest the stones sway in a slow rhythm, as if encouraging your next step. You stand at the start of the stone path, the air behind you filled with fragrance and light. The air ahead cooler, more spacious. You feel ready, grounded, quietly renewed. This is where the next chapter begins, following the stone path of wisdom, one steady step at a time. You take your first step onto the stone path, and immediately the texture beneath your feet changes. The stones are smooth, cool, and gently rounded, each one shaped by time, shaped by the elements, shaped by patience. They feel deliberate, as if placed with intention, forming a trail not meant to rush you forward, but to guide you deeper inward. Behind you, the blossoms glow softly in the moonlight, their gentle fragrance lingering like a parting embrace. Ahead of you, the stone path curves into the quieter shadows of the sanctuary, each stone reflecting a faint shimmer of silver from the sky above. You breathe in deeply. The fragrance of the garden fades gradually. You breathe out slowly. A new stillness begins to rise. The stones beneath your feet feel almost symbolic, each one a teaching, a reminder, a truth softened by time. As you step from one stone to the next, you notice how each surface feels slightly different. Some warmer, some cooler, some smoother, some textured with faint lines. None uncomfortable, just unique, just real. It makes you think of the Buddha's teachings, how each one carries its own shape, its own tone, its own clarity, yet all lead toward the same thing. Peace in awareness, stillness in understanding, compassion in the present moment. You walk slowly, stepping from one smooth stone to the next. With each step, something inside you shifts. Not dramatically, but gently. A kind of inner alignment begins to take place. Inhale, step, awareness settles. Exhale, step, your thoughts loosen their grip. The stone path winds gently between low bushes and slender trees, all of them softly illuminated by the glow of the moon. The leaves shimmer faintly, like they're humming with the quiet wisdom of the night. Occasionally, a breeze drifts through the branches, sending shivers of light across the stones. But even the breeze feels instructional, moving without force, whispering rather than commanding. You pause to look down at one particularly round stone. Its surface is worn smooth, a faint depression at its center. You imagine countless feet have stepped here, travelers before you, who walk this path with the same softness, the same searching, the same quiet hope for rest and clarity. For a moment, you stand completely still on that stone. You feel the stability beneath you. You feel your breath settle deeper into your belly. You feel steadiness rising within you, like a small flame protected from the wind. A thought drifts quietly into your awareness, not shouted, but offered gently. Every step you take can be a moment of peace. Every step can be its own form of awakening. You resume your walk, and each stone seems to match your pace. The path curves slightly to the right, descending just enough to make your knees soften. The surrounding trees shift closer, forming a loose canopy overhead. Their branches weave a delicate pattern against the night sky, filtering the moonlight into thin, gentle ribbons. The Buddha's presence rises within you again, warm, steady, subtle, like the touch of a palm placed lightly on your back, not guiding your steps physically, but reminding your mind to soften, to allow, to simply be. Your breath grows quieter as you walk. Inhale, a soft expansion. Exhale, a deeper settling. The stone path begins to widen slightly and the trees part just enough for the night sky to open wider above you. Stars shimmer overhead, distant but comforting, like tiny seeds of wisdom scattered across darkness. Their presence feels gentle, patient. They don't demand to be understood, they simply shine. You step onto another stone, this one larger, flatter, and cool beneath your foot. You pause again, letting Your breath meet the quiet. Somewhere ahead, you hear it. The faintest sound, soft, still, barely there. A subtle trickle. You tilt your head slightly, listening more closely. The path beneath your feet carries you forward without rush, as though knowing exactly where to guide you next. The sound grows clearer with each step, not loud, not rushing, just present. It blends with the night, merging into the hush of the wind moving through branches. You follow the curve of the path as it slips between two tall shrubs. Their leaves brush your arms lightly as you pass, whispering like soft teachers urging you just a little deeper into calm. The sound of trickling water becomes clearer. Your breath becomes softer. Your steps become slower. And then the trees part, opening into a small clearing bathed in moonlight. At its center lies a still pool. The surface is smooth as glass, reflecting the sky so perfectly it looks like a window into another night. The moon's bright circle rests on the water's surface, unbroken, whole. The edges of the pool are lined with smooth stones, each one catching faint streaks of silver. You step closer, drawn not by curiosity, but by the peace radiating from the water. The air around the pool feels cooler, more deliberate, like it was shaped specifically for reflection. This is where the next chapter begins, with stillness that mirrors your inner world, and water that invites you to see yourself with calm clarity. You step quietly toward the pool, and the world seems to fall into a deeper hush around you. The still water lies untouched, its surface smooth enough to mirror the sky with perfect clarity. Moonlight rests on it like a silver veil, gently illuminating the stones that frame its edges. The moment you stand at the water's side, you feel something inside you shift, subtle, tender, like a softening you didn't know you needed. You slowly kneel beside the pool. The ground is cool beneath your hands, the stones faintly cold from the night air. As you lean forward, your reflection appears in the water, softened, blurred slightly by the dimness, but undeniably you. The reflection doesn't judge, doesn't sharpen your features, doesn't distort. It simply shows what is, held gently by the calm surface. For a long breath, you just look. You see your face framed by night, your expression softened by the stillness. You see the hint of tiredness you've carried, the traces of effort, the quiet strength beneath it all. But the water reflects something deeper too. Your presence, your awareness, the part of you that has been walking this quiet path with patience. Inhale. The air above the pool feels cooler. Exhale. Your reflection ripples gently, then returns to stillness. The Buddha's presence rises around you again, not as a voice or a vision, but as a warmth expanding in your chest. It feels like someone sitting beside you in silence, listening with complete compassion. The water becomes more than a mirror. It becomes a space to witness yourself without the weight of expectation. You look deeper, not at your features, but at the feeling beneath them, at the gentle fatigue in your eyes, at the calm settling through your breath, at the way your heart seems to loosen in this stillness. The reflection teaches you something without words. Stillness reveals what rushing hides. Quiet shows you where you're holding too tightly. And reflection is not about judging, it's about understanding. You let your thoughts drift like leaves floating on the surface. They appear and pass. Another breath, another soft ripple. Even your worries seem gentler here, softened by the patience of the night. One small stone rests near the edge of the pool. Smooth, round, warm from the day's sun. You pick it up and hold it in your palm. For a moment, you feel its weight, light but present. You imagine it as one thought, one worry, one knot you've carried inside for too long. Without forcing anything, you lower the stone into the water. The pool accepts it without resistance. Ripples spread outward, soft, widening, dissolving into stillness. Just like thoughts when you stop gripping them. You watch the surface smooth again, returning to that perfect quiet. You breathe with it, letting each small wave that fades remind you that your inner world can find peace the same way, through soft release, gentle acceptance, patient returning. You shift your weight and sit fully beside the pool, letting your legs stretch out, your palms resting on the cool ground. The sky reflects even more clearly now, the moon shining steady, stars resting like tiny sparks of wisdom scattered across dark velvet. The reflection feels endless, a world above mirrored in a world below. Your breath deepens. Inhale. Your chest expands like the night sky. Exhale. Your thoughts settle like dust returning to the earth. The pool mirrors not only the sky, but your inner stillness. Not only your reflection, but your unfolding. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the cool air brush across your face. The sound is faint, just the soft whisper of night, the quiet hum of nature sleeping around you. Your body feels held, grounded, embraced by the combination of earth and water and sky. When you open your eyes again, the pool looks different. Not because it has changed, but because you have. You notice more now. The tiny glints of moonlight trapped along the edges of the stones, the barely visible movement of a petal floating on the surface, the way the water seems to breathe with you. A gentle warmth begins to rise in the air, subtle at first, then clearer. A warm breeze drifts across the clearing, brushing the surface of the pool. The reflection wavers softly, like the world is stretching in a peaceful sigh. The warmth carries a new scent, something herbal, something sweet, something alive. It moves across your skin with surprising tenderness, almost like a hand guiding you forward. The petals on the water shift. The grass nearby bends. Your reflection softens and brightens at the same time. The breeze carries a message you don't need words to understand. It's time to rise. It's time to continue. The journey is opening again. You push gently to your feet, the warmth of the breeze settling into your chest like a quiet encouragement. The pool rests behind you, still and luminous, as you turn toward the path ahead, now touched by the same warm wind, now opening toward something new. This is where the next chapter begins, guided by the warm night breeze, carrying you deeper into the mountain's quiet wisdom. The warm night breeze wraps around you like a gentle shawl, settling across your shoulders with a tenderness that feels almost sentient. It carries with it the scent of herbs, soft blossoms, and the faint sweetness of distant pine. As it brushes past your skin, something inside you loosens, something tight, something tired, something you didn't even realize had been holding on. You take a slow breath in, and the breeze seems to breathe with you. You exhale, and the breeze carries something away. It's subtle at first. The release isn't dramatic. Instead, it feels like a quiet untying, threads of tension dissolving one by one as the warm air glides over your arms, your neck, your chest. Worry doesn't fall off you all at once. It melts, softening the edges you've clung to for too long. You stand there for a moment in the clearing, feeling the night wrap itself gently around your body. Inhale. The breeze gathers. Exhale. It drifts forward, taking a little more weight with it. The Buddha's presence warms within you, a steady, compassionate awareness rising like a lantern behind your ribs. Not a blazing light, but a soft glow that widens slowly, patiently, offering room for everything you feel. You begin walking again. The breeze moves with you, brushing your clothing, trailing through your hair, circling your hands like it's guiding you somewhere. Each step feels lighter than the last, as if your feet no longer press so heavily into the earth. The stone path behind you fades into memory, and the soft dirt beneath your feet begins to form a new trail, warmer, gentler, inviting. As you walk, the breeze grows more expressive. It swirls playfully around your ankles. It rises across your back like a warm palm. It drifts ahead of you, parting the grass and leaves. Each motion carries a wordless message. You don't have to fight everything. You don't have to hold so tightly. You can let the world move through you. The air around you shimmers faintly as the breeze flows through branches overhead. Leaves rustle softly, their whispers blending with your steps, as though the forest is participating in your release. Every exhale feels like letting something go. An old worry, a pressure you've carried, a story you tell yourself too often. You begin to notice how the breeze responds not just to the environment, but to your inner landscape. When your breath softens, the air around your chest seems to lighten. When a stray worry rises, the breeze picks up gently, circling around you like it's brushing the thought away before it can settle again. You close your eyes for a moment, letting yourself feel it more fully. The warmth, the movement, the way the air seems to cradle your heart. A memory drifts through your mind, something you've been holding on to, maybe longer than you should. It doesn't appear with force. It floats in like a leaf carried on the breeze. You acknowledge it quietly. Inhale. It comes into view. Exhale. The breeze takes it a little farther from your chest. You feel something inside you soften. A tension you didn't know lived in your ribs begins to release. The breath becomes easier. The night feels kinder, and your body feels like it's learning, instinctively, how to let go with grace. As you continue walking, the path shifts subtly under your feet. The ground becomes more level. The trees begin to thicken. The air grows richer with fragrance, something earthy, something warm. The breeze guides you forward, like a friend walking ahead with a lantern. It nudges you gently in the right direction, winding through the trees as though it knows exactly where you need to go. The soft glow of moonlight filters between branches, forming patterns of light and shadow along the forest floor. You breathe in the warm air again. This time, your chest expands with more ease. This time, the breeze feels like it's filling not just your lungs, but your entire being. You notice how the trees around you seem to shift in shape, not dramatically, but with a subtle intention. Their trunks grow closer together, forming a loose corridor of wood and leaf. Their branches reach overhead, weaving into a natural archway that gently guides your steps. The breeze moves through this archway, stirring ribbons of warm air that brush against your cheeks and arms. It feels almost ceremonial, like passing through a threshold designed not to test you, but to welcome you deeper into yourself. As you follow the warm currents of wind, a faint glow appears ahead. Not moonlight, not lantern light. Something softer, something steadier. You walk toward it, feeling a rising sense of quiet anticipation in your chest. The trees part once more, revealing a small forest shrine nestled beneath ancient branches. It glows with a gentle warmth, lit not by flame, but by the reflection of the moon and the quiet energy of the night. The breeze guides you right to its entrance, brushing your back with a final, soft push. This is where the next chapter begins. At the threshold of the forest shrine, where the night grows even more peaceful. The warm breeze guides you toward the small shrine tucked beneath the shelter of an ancient tree. Its branches stretch outward like welcoming arms, and as you draw closer, you notice the heart-shaped leaves shimmering gently in the moonlight. They rustle with a softness unlike any other tree you've passed tonight. Each leaf trembling delicately, as if whispering their own quiet wisdom. You recognize the shape instantly. They look like Bodhi leaves, symbols of awakening, compassion, and deep inner stillness. No matter how far you are from the place where the Buddha once sat beneath the original Bodhi tree, this one carries that same calm spirit, that same patient presence, that same gentle reminder that enlightenment isn't something far away, but something already budding quietly within you. You step beneath its branches. The air changes the moment you do. Cooler, softer, more focused. The rustling leaves above you form a hushed canopy of sound, like 1,000 whispers speaking in perfect harmony. It's not noisy. It's soothing. An ancient lullaby made from the breath of the night and the wisdom of the tree. The shrine rests at the tree's base, small and simple. A wooden structure with softened corners, aged beautifully by time. Its roof is slightly curved, its surface smooth from years of wind and rain. A single stone sits at the center of the platform, rounded, worn, and deeply grounded. Someone once placed it here with intention, but the shrine feels less like a man-made altar and more like the mountain's quiet heart made visible. You approach slowly, feeling the warmth of the Buddha's presence rising again within you, not as a sensation from the outside, but as a calm blossoming in your chest. The closer you get, the more you feel something inside settle, like silt gently drifting to the bottom of clear water. You lower yourself to your knees. The ground beneath the Bodhi leaves is soft, covered in moss and petals that drifted down earlier in the evening. You place your palms gently on your thighs and take in a slow breath. Inhale. The scent of earth and leaves fills your lungs. Exhale. Your entire body feels heavier in the best way, grounded, supported, safe. You bow your head toward the shrine, not out of obligation, but out of a soft, instinctive gratitude. There is no ceremony here, no rules you must follow. Just quiet, just breath, just presence. The leaves above you rustle again. A soft wave, a gentle murmur, a reassurance. You lift your gaze to the stone, resting at the center of the shrine. Moonlight touches its surface, making it glow faintly. It looks like nothing more than a stone, and yet, somehow, it feels like a symbol of stillness made tangible. A reminder that wisdom doesn't always shout. Sometimes it sits quietly, unchanged, offering itself to anyone willing to pause long enough to notice. Your breath deepens as you look at it, and you feel your mind begin to quiet even more. A thought drifts into your awareness, slow, unhurried. Awakening is not a destination. Awakening is a soft turning inward, a gentle opening, a returning to the present moment again and again. The Bodhi leaves sway in response, their shadows dancing across the shrine as if agreeing with the truth settling into your chest. You place one hand on the ground beside you, feeling the cool moss beneath your palm. The earth feels steady, rooted, peaceful. You imagine the roots of the Bodhi tree stretching deep into the soil, touching unseen layers of the mountain and drawing nourishment directly from the core of the earth. You let that image settle into your breath. Inhale, the stability. Exhale, the softening. The longer you sit beneath the leaves, the lighter your thoughts become. Tension unravels. Worry dissolves. Your body finds its natural rhythm again. It feels like you could stay here for hours, held by the branches, soothed by the whisper of the leaves, grounded by the quiet shrine. But then, something shifts. A gentle breeze moves through the tree, stronger than before. The leaves rustle with new direction, their sound no longer simply soothing, but guiding. You lift your head slightly and listen. The breeze stirs again, brushing the leaves in a way that seems purposeful, like fingers pointing the way. You follow the direction of their movement. Beyond the shrine, partially hidden by vines and shadow, lies a narrow forest path. A path tucked beneath arching branches. A path protected by leaves that sway like curtains, lifting to reveal what awaits. A sheltered, intimate passageway leading deeper into the sanctuary's heart. The Bodhi leaves rustle once more. A gentle encouragement, a quiet nudge forward, a tender reminder that the journey continues. You rise from the mossy ground, placing one hand gently against the tree's trunk in gratitude. The bark is warm, alive, steady. The wind brushes your back. The leaves whisper softly, and the path ahead waits patiently. This is where the next chapter begins. Stepping into the sheltered forest path, guided by the whisper of Bodhi leaves. You step away from the Bodhi shrine, guided gently by the rustling of its heart-shaped leaves. They sway behind you like a soft farewell, carrying with them a quiet blessing for your next steps. Ahead, the forest path waits, narrow, calm, and sheltered beneath an archway of intertwined branches. You approach slowly, feeling the air shift as you cross into the shaded passage. The light dims, but the dimness isn't threatening. It feels protective, like stepping beneath a warm blanket. The branches reach overhead, twining together in soft curves that create a natural tunnel. Leaves overlap in layered patterns, filtering the moonlight into thin ribbons that scatter over the ground at your feet. You walk forward, and the world narrows into a calm, intimate space. No wind rushes here. No distant sounds disturb the quiet. Just a soft hush, the kind that invites the mind to rest. The air is warmer within this tunnel of branches. It wraps gently around your arms and shoulders, carrying a faint earthy sweetness from the moss clinging to the trunks. With every step, you feel the warmth deepen, like the forest itself is comforting you, letting you know you're safe here. You brush your fingers lightly along one of the branches as you pass. Its surface is smooth, almost polished, shaped by years of sun, rain, and quiet time. Another branch bends slightly overhead, as though bowing to greet you. None of this feels imagined. It feels like the forest is acknowledging your presence with simple kindness. The Buddha's presence rises again within you, subtle and steady, like a soft lantern glowing behind your heart. You feel it in your breath, in the ease of your steps, in the soft warmth that settles into your chest. This sheltered path feels sacred in its own quiet way, shaped by nature rather than hands, but carrying the same gentle clarity as any temple corridor. Your breath deepens without effort. Inhale, and the warm air expands in your chest. Exhale, and your body softens from the inside out. As you walk deeper beneath the branches, the world outside seems to fall away entirely. You become aware only of the soft rhythm of your steps, the muted rustling of leaves above, and the smooth, steady pulse of the earth beneath your feet. Each step feels guided, supported, welcomed. The branches begin to shift as you move, opening and closing in gentle patterns. Sometimes the path narrows, like the forest is leaning in to embrace you. Other times it widens just enough to let a cool breath of moonlight spill through. The play of darkness and light feels intentional, like the forest teaching you about balance in the simplest way possible. There's a sweetness to the air now, a soft herbal scent drifting from unseen plants tucked deeper within the shadows. You draw it in, feeling the warmth settle deeper into your ribs. Something about this sheltered path feels deeply healing, like walking through a memory of comfort you never knew you needed. You pause for a moment, closing your eyes just to feel the world around you. The warmth, the protection, the quiet. It feels like the branches themselves are holding space for you to breathe. When you open your eyes again, your body feels lighter, like something loosened without you needing to force it. The path curves gently, and as you follow its turn, the branches above shift again. They thin slightly, letting more moonlight through. The forest's hush softens into a kind of gentle anticipation, as if something ahead is beginning to glow. You take another step, then another. A faint warmth touches your cheek, not from the breeze, but from light, soft, golden, subtle. You tilt your head, eyes adjusting to the change. Up ahead, at the far end of the sheltered passage, something glimmers. Not bright, not sharp, just a warm glow. Faint at first, then slowly growing clearer as you walk. A lantern. Its gentle flame sways inside a protective glass casing, casting a soft halo of gold across the path. The lantern hangs from a curved wooden post, its light spilling over the ground in warm circles that break through the tunnel of shadows. You walk toward it, guided by its glow. The closer you get, the warmer the air becomes. The branches overhead open wider, giving the light room to reach you. You stop beneath the lantern, letting its warmth touch your skin. It feels like a small sun, gentle, steady, patient. Beyond it, the path begins to widen again, leading into an open stretch illuminated by more soft lights hidden just beyond your view. This is where the next chapter begins, following the lantern-lit pathway, drawn gently toward deeper peace. You stand beneath the first lantern, its warm glow settling over your skin like a soft embrace. The gentle flame inside flickers slowly, casting fluid ripples of gold across the ground. The warmth feels alive, like a quiet presence watching over you with patience and care. You take a step forward. As you do, another lantern comes into view, then another. They appear in a calm procession, each one spaced just far enough apart that their halos overlap, creating a continuous ribbon of amber light guiding you deeper into the night. The path beneath your feet shifts from soft earth to smooth, packed dirt. The lantern light makes the surface glow faintly, revealing tiny grains of sand and small, rounded stones that shimmer like flecks of stardust. Your footsteps fall lightly, softened by the warmth that fills the air. The Buddha's presence rises quietly within you again, blending with the glow of the lanterns. Steady, warm, unhurried. It feels like a reminder that even in darkness, there are always small lights guiding the way forward. Lights that don't force. Lights that simply illuminate. Inhale. The lanterns glow a little warmer. Exhale. Your mind settles into their soft rhythm. You walk slowly, matching your pace to the gentle sway of the flames. They dance with the breeze, but never wildly, always calm, always fluid. The flickering light casts long, soft shadows across the path, making it feel like you're walking through a moving painting, one made of gold, darkness, and the gentle touch of night. The trees lining the path seem to soften in the lantern glow. Their trunks appear smoother, their leaves shimmering in quiet waves of reflected light. The warm illumination reveals details that moonlight might have missed. The curves of roots, the delicate veins on leaves, the soft fuzz along the edges of certain plants. Every step feels like a slow descent into deeper peace. The lanterns are spaced perfectly, each one pulling you forward just enough that you never feel lost, never feel overwhelmed. Their steady glow feels like a heartbeat, one that matches your own. You begin to notice a soft warmth blooming in your chest, as though a small lantern has been lit there too, shining gently with each breath. A breeze drifts through the trail, brushing the flames and sending their light swaying in peaceful crescents. You feel it swirl around your ankles, rising along your arms, and across your back like a warm whisper. The breeze seems to guide the lantern flames, and the lantern flames seem to guide your steps. The further you walk, the more the forest begins to change. The branches overhead grow taller, arcing gracefully over the path. The leaves become broader, catching the lantern light in soft pools of gold. The night smells sweeter, notes of wild grass and warm bark mixing in the air. You pause for a moment beneath one of the lanterns, letting its glow wash over your face. The warmth touches your eyelids, your lips, the edges of your collarbone. You close your eyes and breathe it in. In the darkness behind your eyelids, the lantern's glow lingers, a soft, shimmering amber, pulsing gently like a slow heartbeat. You open your eyes again, and the world feels even softer than before. The path continues, curving slightly to the left, and as you follow the bend, you begin to notice something new in the distance. A faint shape, half veiled by the trees. It's subtle at first, just a dark form resting among branches. But as you walk closer, the lanterns reveal more detail. A structure begins to take shape, low to the ground, gentle in silhouette, tucked quietly into the natural curve of the trail. A resting hut. Its roof is angled and smooth, covered in thin wooden tiles that reflect the lantern light in soft metallic glimmers. The walls are simple, crafted of warm toned wood that seems almost to glow from within. It sits beside the path like a friend, waiting without hurry, offering a silent promise of comfort. The lanterns leading to it sway more warmly now, as if encouraging your approach. Their glow widens, illuminating the small porch of the hut and the wooden steps that lead up to it. You feel a sense of calm anticipation rise in your chest. Not excitement, something gentler. A feeling of being welcomed, a feeling of being invited to pause. You take a few more steps, and the doorway of the hut becomes clear. It's open, revealing a soft, warm interior, bathed in the glow of more lanterns lining its inner walls. The light is subdued, but inviting. The kind of glow that invites rest, invites breath, invites slowing down. The path of lanterns behind you seems to bow their light toward the hut, their flames swaying gently in silent encouragement. You stand at the small wooden steps, feeling the warmth radiating from the doorway. Your body softens, your breath deepens, your heart feels steady, open, ready. This is where the next chapter begins. Stepping into the resting hut, letting its gentle warmth hold you for a while. You place one foot on the first wooden step of the hut, and a soft warmth rises to meet you. Gentle, steady, almost like an exhale from the structure itself. Before you even cross the threshold, the scent of warm wood and faint herbal smoke drifts into your awareness, wrapping around you like a shawl woven from comfort. To the right of the hut, just a few steps away, a small fire glows in a stone-lined pit. Its flames sway slowly, rising and falling with the calm rhythm of the mountain night. Not crackling loudly, just whispering, murmuring, offering its warmth in a quiet, humble way. You turn toward it instinctively. The firelight paints the grass in soft amber hues. The stones around the pit glow a faint orange, warmed by hours of gentle heat. You take a seat on a smooth wooden bench positioned near the flames. Its surface is warm from the fire, inviting you to settle without hesitation. The moment you sit, a deep ease flows through your body. Your shoulders lower, your breath lengthens, your whole being warms from the inside out. The Buddha's presence rises quietly again, soft, steady, like a warm lantern resting in the center of your chest. It blends with the glow of the fire, their warmth joining into something that feels deeply tender, deeply grounding. You extend your hands toward the flames. The heat brushes your palms with a feather-light touch. You inhale the scent of burning wood, earthy, soothing, nostalgic. In the fire's glow, time begins to slow. Your thoughts drift like small sparks rising from the embers, lifting, glowing briefly, and then disappearing into the night sky without weight or resistance. The flames themselves seem to teach you something without words. Warmth doesn't rush. Comfort doesn't demand. Rest arrives quietly when you allow it to. You watch as the fire sways in slow arcs, each movement casting soft shadows across the grassy clearing. The lantern-lit path behind you feels distant now, softened by darkness and the gentle hum of night insects. The world has narrowed to this calm pool of light. Just you, the fire, and the mountain breathing around you. The warmth spreads through your legs, your arms, your face. Your heartbeat slows. A subtle heaviness settles in your limbs. Not fatigue, but calm weight, like your body is settling into a quieter gear. You sit back against the bench, letting your gaze drift upward. The sky above is clearer here, framed by the hut's gentle silhouette. Stars glitter lightly between drifting clouds, each one steady and unmoving in the vast dark. You feel the fire's warmth on your left and the mountain's cool night air on your right, a perfect, gentle contrast. It feels like balance embodied, like breath itself, like the natural rhythm of the world meeting you exactly where you are. The fire pops once, softly, almost politely. A tiny spark dances upward before fading into the night. It reminds you of the lanterns you followed earlier, their golden glow guiding your steps with patience. The flame's dance slows again, returning to its natural sway. You close your eyes, letting the warmth and quiet settle deeper into your body. Inhale, the fire's glow seems to pulse. Exhale, your thoughts melt like wax, softening in the heat. For a moment, you feel held by the fire, by the night, by the gentle presence inside your chest that has followed you through every chapter of this journey. After a long, peaceful stretch of stillness, you open your eyes again. The hut stands just a few steps away, its doorway glowing with soft, amber light. Shadows from lanterns inside flicker on the walls, moving with the same slow rhythm as the fire beside you. It looks safe, warm, welcoming. A natural pause lives here, a moment between being outside, embraced by firelight, and stepping inside into deeper comfort. The breeze brushes against your back, gentle and warm. It nudges you lightly, like a friend tapping your shoulder, reminding you that the journey continues. You rise slowly from the bench, feeling the fire's warmth cling to your clothing for a moment before drifting away. You take a final glance at the flames, their soft glow, their patient dance, their steady offering. Then you turn toward the hut. The doorway glows brighter now, as though sensing your approach. The warm interior calls to you without urgency. A promise of deeper rest waits inside. This is where the next chapter begins. Stepping through the doorway of the mountain hut, letting its gentle silence welcome you fully. You step toward the hut, the fire's glow fading gently behind you as the warm light inside draws you closer. The wooden doorway frames a space that feels still, quiet, and intentionally simple, as though every part of it was built with the purpose of helping weary travelers finally exhale. You pause just before crossing the threshold, taking in one last breath of cool night air before stepping into warmth. The moment you enter, the atmosphere changes. The interior is bathed in a soft golden glow from lanterns placed at different corners of the room. Their light isn't bright, it's muted, warm, like melted honey slowly spreading across smooth wood. Shadows sway lightly along the walls, moving with the same unhurried rhythm you've been settling into since you began this journey. The floor is made of polished wooden planks, warm beneath your feet, carrying the faint scent of pine and herbal oils. A woven mat stretches across the center of the room, its fibers thick and comforting. Along the far wall sits a low shelf holding a few simple objects: a wooden bowl, a folded cloth, a small bundle of herbs tied neatly with twine. There's no clutter, no sharp edges, nothing demanding your attention. Just space, just warmth, just the kind of stillness that invites your body to sink into itself. You let the door fall closed behind you, its soft thud blending into the quiet like another heartbeat. The warmth inside the hut wraps around your shoulders, your back, your breath. After the coolness of the night, it feels like stepping into an embrace, gentle, patient, deeply grounding. The Buddha's presence rises again, softer now, like a whisper that hums behind your ribs. It's not instruction. It's not direction. It's simply reassurance. It reminds you that every step you've taken, down the lantern-lit path, under the shelter of kind branches, through the garden of silent blossoms, has been bringing you here, to this moment, to this warmth, to this breath. You run your fingers briefly along the wooden wall. It's smooth and warm, radiating a quiet steadiness, as if the hut has absorbed centuries of peace, storing it in the grain of its beams. You feel that steadiness travel up your arm and settle into your chest. You walk deeper into the room. In the corner, a small clay pot releases a thin trail of fragrant smoke. The scent is herbal, earthy, calming, a blend of dried leaves and warm resins that remind you of deeper forests, quiet mornings, soft rain. The aroma settles into your breath, loosening the last hidden knots in your body. Your steps soften, your shoulders drop, your thoughts slow to a gentle drift. The warmth inside the hut doesn't just touch your skin, It seeps into your bones, into your breath, into the quiet spaces between your thoughts. You feel your body gradually adjusting to it, like slipping into warm water after a long day. You take a seat on the woven mat, letting its texture cushion your weight. You lean back slightly, supporting yourself with your hands behind you. You breathe. Just breathe. A soft hum of silence fills the room. Steady, grounding, present. It's the kind of silence that doesn't feel empty. It feels full, alive, as if the hut itself is practicing meditation with you. Your gaze drifts to the far side of the room. There, placed precisely and intentionally, sits a meditation cushion. Round, simple, inviting. Its cloth is a warm, rustic brown, stitched neatly, its surface slightly indented from countless moments of use. It rests on a smaller mat, layered beneath it, framing the cushion like a small altar of stillness. It's clear that the cushion was placed there for someone exactly like you, someone who has walked a long path through night and quiet wisdom, someone ready to settle into a deeper stillness. The lantern light falls gently across its surface, making the cushion glow softly. It almost feels alive, humming with the warmth of the hut, holding the echo of every calm breath taken here before. You feel the Buddha's presence deepen in your chest, warm and steady, nudging you toward the cushion, not with urgency, but with the softest encouragement. A gentle suggestion, a quiet invitation. You rise slowly from where you sit on the mat, your body feeling heavier in a pleasant, restful way. Each step toward the cushion feels like sinking deeper into the heart of the night's peace. Inhale. You feel the warmth settle deeper. Exhale. Your mind clears just a little more. When you reach the cushion, you pause. This moment, standing here, wrapped in warmth, held by silence, feels like the soft hinge between everything you've walked through and everything you'll discover next. This is where the next chapter begins, settling onto the meditation cushion, letting the hut become your sanctuary of inner stillness. You stand before the meditation cushion, feeling the warmth of the hut embracing you from all sides. The lantern light flickers softly along the wooden beams, casting gentle waves of gold across the floor. For a moment, you simply breathe, taking in the calm that has been building with every step of your journey. The room feels perfectly quiet, perfectly warm, perfectly still. You lower yourself slowly onto the cushion. The moment your body settles, you feel as though the cushion holds you with careful, mindful intention. It rises slightly to meet the shape of your legs and hips, supporting you without effort, like it's been waiting for this exact moment. The woven mat beneath it grounds you further, its texture warm against your ankles. You straighten your spine naturally, not rigid, not tense, just aligned. Aligned with the breath, aligned with the moment, aligned with the quiet, steady presence within you. You let your hands rest loosely on your lap, palms soft, fingers relaxed, shoulders falling away from your ears. The Buddha's presence blooms again in your chest like warm light, steady, compassionate, familiar. It's not overwhelming. It's not intense. It's gentle, like a lantern quietly glowing in a deep night. You close your eyes, At first, there is only darkness, a soft, velvety quiet, a silent space behind your eyelids. Then slowly, very slowly, the darkness warms. Not visually, but emotionally. You feel the quiet like a soft fabric, wrapping around your thoughts, your breath, your heart. Your inhale grows deeper, expanding your rib cage slowly. Your exhale sinks into the cushion beneath you. You feel your weight supported fully, without a single muscle needing to hold you up. The warmth of the hut, the dim flicker of lanterns, the faint scent of herbs drifting through the air. They all weave together into a cocoon of tranquility. Thoughts drift into your mind, like faint ripples on water. Memories, tasks, feelings, little stories trying to be heard. You don't chase them. You don't push them away. You simply watch them drift, and drift, and drift, until they fade into the soft darkness behind your closed eyes. Your breath becomes the only thing you follow, not controlling it, just noticing. Inhale, your chest rises gently. Exhale, your whole body sinks deeper into ease. The warmth of the Buddha's presence settles deeper into your spine, like a quiet reminder. You are safe. You are held. You can rest here. Time drifts in slow waves. You sink deeper. Your breath grows softer. Your mind loosens its grip on everything it once held tightly. You feel the cushion beneath you soften even more, almost molding to your body. It supports you like a calm hand resting at your lower back, inviting you to release the last of your tension. Your shoulders soften. Your jaw relaxes. Your brow smooths. In the stillness, your heartbeat slows into a gentle rhythm, a quiet drum you hear from within. Each beat feels like it sends tiny ripples outward, merging with the warm air of the room. Your awareness begins to expand and soften at the same time. You become aware of the sound of your breath, the warmth over your skin, the faint lantern flickers, the slow pulse of your heartbeat, the cushion's gentle support beneath you. You feel like you're sinking, not downward, but inward, a kind of settling, a kind of dissolving, a deep, peaceful folding in. And with each breath, the boundary between your body and the cushion seems to blur. Your muscles loosen, your weight softens. Your breath slows to the rhythm of someone almost drifting into sleep. You sit there, completely cocooned in warmth and quiet. The stillness deepens. Your body grows heavier, your breath lighter. A natural shift happens inside you. Your spine, once upright, now gently signals that it wants to soften further. Your hips feel the pull of gravity more clearly. Your legs ask for rest, and your eyes, still closed, grow heavier, warmer, quieter. It's not fatigue, it's surrender. The body asking, not out of exhaustion, but out of readiness, to lie down, to ease fully into rest. The meditation has carried you to the border between wakefulness and dreams, a perfect, tender threshold. You feel the cushion beneath you like a cradle now, gently holding you as your body leans inward toward deeper rest. Slowly, naturally, without any effort or urgency, the invitation rises from within. It's time to lie down, to rest, to slip into an even softer state of peace. This is where the next chapter begins, lowering your body from the cushion and letting yourself sink into full, grounded, effortless rest. Your body feels heavy now, warm, softened, ready. The meditation cushion beneath you has become a cradle, holding you in a suspension between wakefulness and the quiet drift of dreams. Every breath you take pools gently in your chest before flowing downward through your belly, then dissolving into the wooden floor beneath you. It's a stillness so deep that even your thoughts have begun to whisper instead of speak. Slowly, you open your eyes. The lantern light flickers softly against the walls of the hut, casting warm ripples of gold across the ceiling beams. The air is thick with calm, almost velvety against your skin, comforting you just by existing around you. You take one more long breath, deep, steady, full, and as you exhale, your body gently signals again. Lie down. Rest now. You place your hands on the mat and shift your weight carefully. Your spine curves naturally. Your hips soften. Your legs relax. With slow intention, you lower your body from the cushion onto the soft, woven mat beside it. The mat meets you like a warm embrace, thick, supportive, shaped by years of use. Your shoulder blades settle first, then the back of your head, then the heaviness of your arms resting loosely at your sides. The moment you make full contact with the mat, something inside you releases completely. It's not dramatic, not sudden, just a gentle untying, as if your entire body sighs into the floor. You stretch your legs out fully, feeling your calves sink into the mat, your heels dropping heavily, your toes falling outward in effortless relaxation. Your arms settle palms up beside your hips, open and receptive, no longer holding on to anything at all. Your breath shifts. Inhale. Your abdomen rises softly. Exhale. Your whole body melts. The Buddha's presence fills the room again, not like a figure standing above you, but as a quiet, expansive warmth spreading through your chest, your throat, your belly. It feels like a soft golden glow flowing from within, encouraging you to surrender to this deeper stillness. The lanterns flicker gently. The shadows sway like slow waves. The hut hums with silence. You close your eyes once more. The darkness behind your eyelids is different now. It's warmer, softer, deeper, not empty, but comforting. You feel the weight of your body pressed gently into the mat, held completely by the ground. There is nothing left to support, nothing to lift, nothing to hold. A slow warmth spreads along your spine. It drifts across your ribs, fills the space behind your heart, and settles at the base of your neck like a warm hand gently pressing down in reassurance. You breathe. Inhale. The warmth expands. Exhale. Your muscles loosen one by one. You feel your shoulders sink as though they are melting into the mat. Your arms feel heavier with each breath. Your legs soften so completely that you can hardly feel where they begin or end. The edges of your awareness start to blur, not fading, but softening, like the boundary between your body and the mat is slowly dissolving. You listen to the silence. You listen to your breath. You listen to the warmth inside your chest. Everything is steady. Everything is gentle. Everything is slow. The Buddha's presence sits with you in this quiet, unmoving, unjudging, endlessly patient. It feels like a soft smile from your own inner world, reminding you that rest is part of the path, that lying down in stillness is a sacred act in itself. Your breathing becomes rhythmic, like waves arriving on a shore in long rolling strokes. Inhale, a soft swell rising. Exhale, a gentle retreat. With each cycle, you drift deeper into your own body, further into softness, further into warmth, further into the beginning of a dream. Your mind begins to float, light, spacious, unburdened. Random images drift in and out, soft light, distant mountains, slow-moving clouds. Everything feels muted, warm, blurred at the edges. You're not asleep, not yet, but you're not entirely awake either. You're balanced perfectly between the two into the quiet center of yourself. Your awareness spreads outward, filling the warm room, feeling the lantern glow through your eyelids, sensing the wooden beams above, even without looking. You feel safe. You feel grounded. You feel held. And slowly, very slowly, you feel the pull of the inner world beginning to open, like a gentle door swinging inward, inviting you into a deeper realm of rest. A dreamy hush settles across your thoughts. Your breath becomes feather light. Your body feels weightless and warm. You are ready. This is where the next chapter begins, drifting from waking stillness into the soft dreamscape that waits quietly in the depth of your awareness. Your body rests fully against the mat now, warm and heavy, held in complete ease. The lantern light flickering across your closed eyelids is soft enough to feel like a whisper, a faint glow that moves with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, and the colors behind your lids brighten slightly. Exhale, and they soften into warm shadow. You drift in that subtle dance, hovering gently between wakefulness and something deeper. Your breath grows quieter still, so quiet that you begin to hear the soft hum of the hut itself, the faint creaking of wood expanding in warmth, the light flutter of lantern paper shifting with the occasional breeze, the subtle crackle of herbs smoldering in the clay pot nearby. Each sound feels distant, softened, wrapped in cotton. And slowly, your awareness loosens, not disappearing, just drifting outward, not falling asleep, just floating, not leaving your body, but expanding past the edges of it. Your arms feel weightless. Your legs feel warm and far away. Your thoughts grow softer, blurred at the edges. The boundary between your body and the mat begins to dissolve, becoming wider, lighter. A deep stillness surrounds you, but it's not empty. It's full of a gentle, warm presence that holds you with infinite patience. The Buddha's presence deepens too, not brighter, not louder, just more spacious, like your chest has opened wider to hold it. A soft, drifting sensation rises through your mind, as if the air around you begins to shimmer, as if your breath is carrying you slowly upward with each inhale. The warmth beneath your body feels like a cloud, rising, lifting, rocking you gently. You don't try to move. You don't try to hold on. You simply float. Dreamlike sensations begin to flicker at the edges of your awareness. Soft light, colors blooming like watercolor over mist, shapes without form, sounds without source. They appear and fade like tiny sparks in the dark. Inhale. Your awareness drifts toward them. Exhale. They melt back into the quiet. The space behind your eyelids becomes softer, more luminous. Shapes emerge, slow and vague, like strokes of soft pastel across a dim canvas. Maybe a pale gold curve, maybe the hint of a tree branch, maybe shifting light on water. None of it is clear. All of it feels tender. You feel yourself drifting deeper, as though you're walking down a slow staircase made of cloud. Each breath takes you a step lower, a step further from the surface of waking, a step closer to the quiet world blooming inside. A warmth spreads along your chest, like a soft lantern being lowered into your heart. Its glow widens, easing into your ribs, filling your abdomen, warming the space behind your navel. It comforts you in a way you can physically feel, a warm pulse that moves with your breath. The line between imagination and reality becomes thin, so thin it almost disappears. The soft golden curve behind your eyelids brightens. It begins to ripple like water under moonlight. Then the ripple becomes motion, spreading outward in gentle waves. You feel the shift inside your body, like being gently rocked by an unseen current. Slow, soothing, rhythmic. Not enough to wake you, just enough to guide you deeper. The sound in the hut fades even more. The fire's ember whispers grow distant. The lantern rustle becomes faint. Even your own breath becomes something you sense rather than hear. Another inhale. The golden shapes swirl into flowing patterns. Another exhale. They drift into something soft, like fog curling through light. Your awareness expands again. It opens outward and inward at the same time, like a flower blooming in two directions. You feel weightless now, so quiet, so warm. And slowly, a landscape begins to form, not sharply, not suddenly, but like mist slowly parting to reveal the faint outlines of a dream. A soft glow ahead, the suggestion of a path, a horizon made of quiet colors. It feels like the inside of a thought, the memory of a place you've never been, a world shaped purely from calm. And as the shapes become clearer, you feel the Buddha's presence take on a guiding quality. Still soft, still patient, but now gently ushering you forward into this inner dreamscape. It's not a push. It's an invitation. A warm hand extended without urgency. The last threads of waking awareness loosen. Your breath becomes the softest breeze. Your thoughts dissolve into gentle drifting light. The dream path opens wider before you, its glow deepening, its edges soft, its invitation unmistakable. This is where the next chapter begins, where the dream becomes a place you can walk, a landscape that forms around your peace. The dream path brightens as you drift deeper, its soft glow spreading beneath you like a warm breath of light. You don't walk so much as glide, your body weightless, carried by a current of peace that moves with the same rhythm as your breath. The mist around you thins slowly, unraveling into soft ribbons of gold that pull back like curtains in a breeze. And then you see it, stretching beyond the horizon, glowing gently beneath a dream-lit sky, lies a vast field of lotus flowers, endless, serene, shimmering with soft golden light. Each lotus floats upon perfectly still water, their petals opening and closing with the slow rise and fall of your breath. The entire field seems alive in a quiet, radiant way, pulsing gently like a heartbeat made of light. You drift closer until you're hovering just above the surface of the water. The dream feels warm here, soft, tender. Each lotus glows from within, as though a tiny sun rests at the center of every blossom. Their petals curve outward in delicate layers, some pale gold, others warm amber, others bright like morning sunlight. They sway slightly, not from wind, but from a deeper rhythm, one that feels synced with something inside you. Inhale, the lotuses brighten. Exhale, their glow softens, dimming into a warm amber hush. You feel the Buddha's presence spread through the dream space, not as a figure, but as a warm awareness beneath your ribs, steady, peaceful, guiding. The golden light reflects across the water in soft waves, creating patterns that ripple gently outward. These patterns shift with each breath you take, responding to your inner world like a quiet conversation between your heart and the dream itself. You drift lower, closer to the surface. You reach out with a hand, and your fingers brush a lotus petal. It's warm, softer than silk, almost alive. When you touch it, the lotus opens wider, unveiling layers of inner petals that glow even more brightly. A soft warmth spreads from the point of contact up your fingertips, into your arm, and finally into your chest. It feels like permission to rest, to open, to let your inner world bloom without force. You glide forward again, the golden lotus field stretching infinitely in all directions. Some flowers rest wide open. Others remain half closed, like they're still growing, still unfolding. All of them radiate quiet wisdom. You begin to notice subtle patterns in their movement, clusters of blossoms opening in waves, ripples of gold drifting across the field, soft pulses of light echoing from flower to flower. It's like watching an ocean made of petals and breath. The reflections dance across your skin in faint golden patterns. Your body feels warm and light, as though the dream tide is carrying you gently inward, deeper toward your own center. You can feel your thoughts blooming in the same gentle way, slow, soft, without pressure. A memory drifts in. A small worry flickers. A quiet hope rises. But each one dissolves harmlessly into the dream light, absorbed by the lotus field with effortless compassion. You inhale deeply, and the entire field brightens again. Thousands upon thousands of blossoms letting their golden glow rise in response. You exhale, and the field settles into stillness, as though bowing gently in acknowledgement of your presence. It feels like the dream is breathing with you. You float forward until the lotus field begins to open into a wider expanse of water. The blossoms thin slightly here, creating a tranquil clearing at the center of the dream lake. The water is a deep, warm gold, glowing from below, as if lit by an unseen sun. The surface is perfectly still, reflecting the luminous petals drifting above it. You hover over this clearing, and in the quiet glow, another realization emerges. The lotuses are not just symbols of awakening. They're reflections of your own softening, your own opening, your own journey through the night. The dream field responds with one gentle wave of light, a shimmer that spreads across the water, through every blossom, toward the horizon. You watch it ripple outward until the far edges of the dream begin to brighten, not sharply, not suddenly, but with a soft glow rising like dawn through mist. The glow grows warmer, more golden, forming a faint aura beyond the field. It pulses gently, inviting you forward, guiding you toward the next vision waiting to form. The lotus petals beneath you sway once more in a gentle farewell. The dream path opens. The golden light intensifies. A soft warmth beckons you onward. This is where the next chapter begins, stepping from the lotus field toward the rising glow, into a new dreamscape shaped by deeper peace. The golden horizon ahead brightens slowly, swelling like a sunrise hidden within the dream. As you drift toward it, the lotus field behind you fades into soft luminescence, still present, but no longer the focus. The glow ahead deepens with each breath, expanding from a gentle shimmer into a warm, full-bodied radiance that fills the dream with calm. You feel it before you reach it. A warmth, a pulse, a steady, glowing presence calling to you without urgency. The closer you get, the more the light begins to gather around your chest, soft, tender, like warm hands cupping your heart. There's nothing sharp about it, no intensity that overwhelms, just a slow, rising warmth that feels like being seen without pressure, held without weight. Inhale. The glow brightens gently. Exhale. It wraps more fully around your heart. The dream shifts in texture. The air turns velvety. The light grows thicker, almost tangible. You feel as though you're drifting into a halo made entirely of compassion. As you pass fully into the golden radiance, the world around you dissolves into soft, shimmering color. No shapes, no edges, no distinction between above or below. Just warm gold swirling like slow-moving sunlight poured into still water. That warmth gathers at your heart first. You feel it there, a soft blooming, an unfolding, a gentle opening from the inside out. It doesn't pry anything open. It doesn't push anything away. It simply makes room. Room for breath, room for softness, room for whatever rests quietly inside you. You feel your chest loosen in response. Your ribs widen with ease. Your breath flows deeper, slower, sweeter. A fragile emotion rises. Not sadness, not joy, but that tender place in between where the heart remembers it doesn't have to brace itself. The Buddha's presence expands with the light, not as a figure, but as a sensation. Warmth behind your sternum, a soft awareness hugging your lungs, a grounded peace anchoring your center. You rest in that glow, and the light begins to move. It wraps around your shoulders like a shawl woven from sunlight. It pours gently down your arms, soothing the muscles. It settles into your palms, warming them until they tingle softly. Then it flows downward, slipping through your torso, your hips, your legs. Slow, patient, healing. Every place it touches feels softer. Every part of you feels permission to let go. Your heart feels held, not grasped, not squeezed, but supported with infinite gentleness. The warmth deepens, and the light becomes more intimate, more nurturing. You feel its glow, moving not just around you, but inside you, traveling through your breath, through your bloodstream, through your quiet, drifting awareness. In that golden stillness, you feel something fragile inside you, something tired, something old. Release its hold. You don't know exactly what it is. It doesn't show itself clearly, but you feel it loosen. You feel the space it leaves behind fill instantly with warmth. The light responds with a soft pulse, like a quiet heartbeat that echoes your own. Thump. A wave of warmth spreads. Thump. Your body softens even more. Thump. Your breath falls into the gentlest rhythm. You rest in that rhythm, weightless, supported, safe. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, the golden glow begins to shift. It doesn't fade. It moves, forming subtle layers and soft textures around you. The light gathers beneath your feet, shaping itself into a path of warm radiance, like walking on sunlight filtered through warm honey. You feel your body become lighter again, drifting downward until your feet touch solid ground. Not startling, not sudden, but like stepping onto a cloud made of warm earth. The golden dream dissolves into shapes again. Trees emerge in soft silhouettes. A breeze stirs. The scent of forest returns. Earthy, warm, comforting. The light stays with you, not as a surrounding field now, but as a quiet ember inside your chest. A small sun tucked beneath your ribs. A steady glow you carry rather than something carrying you. You take a slow breath. The forest breathes with you. Another breath. Your feet feel grounded again. Another. And your awareness shifts back into your dream body fully. The golden glow around you thins into gentle rays, filtering through branches overhead. The path beneath your feet feels familiar. Soft earth, scattered leaves, the faint warmth of moonlight settling against your ankles. The Buddha's presence follows, steady and warm, integrated with the ember glowing gently within your heart. Your first step forward is slow, unhurried. The forest receives it with quiet acceptance. Your second step, feels even softer. Your third blends into the hush of night. You're back, on the forest path now, but changed, warmed, illuminated from within. This is where the next chapter begins, walking softly beneath the trees, guided by the warm ember of inner light. The warm ember inside your chest glows steadily as you take your first few steps along the forest path. The trees around you look softer now, their branches swaying with a gentleness that feels almost familiar, as though the dream world acknowledges the change inside you. Moonlight filters through the leaves in thin, shimmering threads, layering the ground in a patchwork of silver and warm shadow. You inhale slowly. Your breath feels different, wider, deeper, more open. The golden light you received in the dream doesn't fade as you walk. Instead, it settles deeper into your center, moving with each breath like a quiet flame sheltered from the wind. Even the cool night air doesn't disturb it. If anything, the contrast makes the warmth in your chest shine even more clearly. With every step, the forest feels more welcoming. The soft rustle of leaves overhead doesn't sound like noise. It sounds like a whisper, a greeting, a rhythm reminding you that the world continues gently around you. Even the earth beneath your feet feels different, more stable, more grounding, as though you're not just walking on a path anymore, but walking with it. Your awareness is calm but vivid. You notice the subtle scent of moss under the trees, the faint chirp of a night insect, the distant ripple of water far deeper in the forest. All of it feels peaceful. All of it feels like part of the same quiet conversation. The Buddha's presence follows you, not as an external guide, but as the soft ember within you. You feel it glow a little each time you inhale, sending waves of ease through your ribs. On the exhale, your shoulders relax even more, the ember flickering gently in response. You continue forward, and the path widens slightly. The trees drift apart. The moonlight deepens. The forest opens its arms. You recognize this place, not because you've been here before, but because it feels like a reflection of the quiet now pulsing inside you. The path mirrors your inner landscape, steady, smooth, simple, open. You remember how the journey began, how your steps felt heavier, how your thoughts clung a bit more tightly. Now, your steps feel like part of the night itself, effortless, unforced, a natural flow of movement guided by quiet breath. You notice how your chest feels. No tension, no tightness, just a gentle warmth. You notice your spine, straight but soft, aligned without effort. You notice your mind, clear, open, resting in a spaciousness that wasn't there before. The ember influences everything. Your thoughts drift in like slow-moving clouds and drift out again without friction. There's no pressure to hold anything, no urgency to solve or remember, just presence, simple, light, unobstructed. As you walk, the soft glow of the dream seems to follow you in the corners of your vision. You see hints of gold flickering through the leaves, places where moonlight warms into amber before fading back into silver. Even the shadows feel gentler, shaped by soft edges rather than sharp lines. The forest path carries you deeper into a kind of familiar unknown, a space that feels both new and perfectly aligned with the quiet inside you. You can sense that you're moving towards something, not dramatic, not intense, but important in a peaceful, grounded way. Your steps slow naturally, not because you're tired, but because the stillness around you asks for it. Because the forest feels sacred now. Because the ember in your chest glows more fully when you move with intention. You pause for a moment and close your eyes. The night hums around you. The air is cool and clean. The ground is steady beneath your feet. In that stillness, the warmth in your chest rises again, wrapping your heart in quiet safety. You breathe into it, letting the glow expand just a little beyond your chest, reaching your throat, your shoulders, your belly. It feels like a soft inner sunrise, blooming slowly from the center outward. When you open your eyes again, you see the path ahead more clearly, not because it has changed, but because you have. Your steps resume, slow and gentle. The forest begins to thin, revealing a stretch of the path that seems almost illuminated from within. The earth here glows faintly, touched by a softness that feels like moonlight shaped by memory. It feels like a quiet return, a cycle completing itself. And in that widening openness, you sense the story beginning to shift, not ending, but preparing to settle, to soften further, to gently close. The Buddha's presence grows steadier now, settling into a quiet confidence inside you. The ember in your chest warms with a patient glow, inviting you into the last stretch of your journey. Calm, grounded, ready. This is where the next chapter begins, with gentle steps leading you toward the closing of the night's path, where reflection and rest prepare to meet. Your steps slow to an unhurried drift as the quiet path opens gently before you. The forest around you has grown softer, the colors muted into deep blues and warm grays, as though the night itself is settling into deeper rest. The golden ember within your chest glows with a steady warmth, no longer flickering or shifting, just present, just calm, just holding you from the inside out. You pause in the center of the path. The air here feels different, not heavier, not colder, but fuller, as though the forest has been waiting for you to arrive at this exact point. The breeze hushes, the leaves steady. Even the faint chirping of night insects seems to soften into a respectful quiet. You rest your hand lightly against your heart. The warmth beneath your palm radiates outward in small, gentle waves. You feel it anchor your breath. You feel it ease your ribs. You feel it affirm the journey you've made through this entire night. You inhale deeply. The forest breathes with you. You exhale slowly. The ember brightens. This moment feels like the natural threshold between wandering and arriving, between journey and reflection, between motion and pause. You let your eyes drift closed, and the Buddha's presence rises again, warm, familiar, steady, not as a figure standing before you, but as the same quiet awareness that's been walking with you since the first steps on the mountain path. It feels like an old friend sitting quietly beside you, offering presence without words. In that presence, A gentle gratitude rises inside your chest. Not forced, not practiced, just natural, like breath. You feel gratitude for the path that carried you, for the lanterns that guided you, for the trees that sheltered you, for the blossoms that opened in silence, for the pool that reflected you without judgment, for the hut that warmed you, for the dream world that softened your heart, for the ember of light that now glows inside you, and for your own quiet willingness to walk this far. You open your eyes slowly, letting the world come back into focus. The path looks different now, wider, more spacious, its edges softened like a memory. The forest hums quietly, acknowledging your stillness. You bring your palms together, not ceremonially, not strictly, just gently. A simple gesture, a soft bow of the heart before the world around you. You bow your head, not deeply, just enough to honor the stillness, to honor the journey, to honor the self that arrived here. In the bowed quiet, you feel something subtle shift inside you, a sense of completion, a sense of readiness, a sense of soft closure. Your breath deepens again, flowing in smooth waves from the ember outward. You lift your head slowly, letting the gesture settle into your bones like a warm memory. The forest feels brighter now, as though the moonlight itself has softened to witness this small, meaningful moment. You let your arms fall loosely to your sides. You stand quietly for a long, unhurried breath, absorbing the final echoes of the journey, its tenderness, its wisdom, its slow unfolding. The night feels like it's holding you a little more gently now, recognizing that you've reached the final stretch of this path. As you step forward again, the ground feels softer beneath your feet. Not dreamlike, real, not heavy, secure. Your steps fall into a rhythm that feels like gratitude made movement. Each footstep lands like a small thank you. Each breath like a quiet bow. Each moment like a warm acknowledgement of everything you've experienced. The trees begin to thin. The path widens. The air grows even more still, like the pause between two slow heartbeats. You feel the warmth in your chest glow more softly now, steady, grounding, familiar. It no longer feels like a flame guiding you forward. It feels like a companion that will continue with you long after the path ends. You walk until you reach a small clearing, open, calm, illuminated by a gentle wash of moonlight. The clearing holds a stillness that feels intentional, like a space made specifically for you to rest in before the journey closes completely. This is where the night finally invites you to pause one last time. Not to walk, not to explore, but simply to be. You stand at its center, the air around you warm and open. Your breath settles deeper. Your shoulders lower. Your heart glows. The Buddha's presence sits quietly inside you, a soft reminder that the journey has been yours all along, and that the guidance was always meant to bring you back to yourself. This is the gentle bridge into the final chapter, a last breath of gratitude, a final settling into warmth before the journey comes to rest. You stand in the quiet clearing, the moon pouring its gentle silver light across the open space. The air feels softer here, warmer even, as though the night itself recognizes that you've reached the final moment of your journey. The ember inside your chest glows steadily, no longer rising and falling with intensity, but resting in a calm, even warmth. A warmth that feels like certainty, a warmth that feels like home. You take one more slow breath. Inhale. The night expands around you. Exhale. Your whole body softens. The forest seems to settle with you, as if the trees themselves are taking their final bow. The breeze becomes a whisper. The moon tilts behind a thin veil of drifting cloud. Everything grows quieter, gentler, preparing you for the stillness ahead. You let your gaze drift across the clearing. Nothing moves. Nothing rushes. Nothing asks anything of you. It's a space made entirely for rest, a place where the journey completes itself and your body feels ready to let go of effort, of tension, of the last traces of wakefulness. The Buddha's presence, warm and calm, settles into the center of your being, not guiding anymore, not leading, just resting with you, like a teacher who knows that you've learned what you needed and now simply sits beside you in quiet companionship. Your steps move forward gently. You don't have to think about walking. Your feet know the rhythm. Your breath knows the path. Your heart knows the way. Every step is lighter than the last, as though the earth beneath you has become softer, more supportive. The clearing brightens with each footfall, not physically, but inside you. A sense of clarity rises, warm and tender, spreading through your chest with a certainty that feels peaceful rather than demanding. Your breath deepens again, and the ember glows warmly in response. You realize now that it isn't a symbol of the dream. It isn't something temporary. It is the quiet wisdom you've gathered, the stillness from the pool, the softness from the blossoms, the warmth from the hut, the clarity from the meditation, the light from the golden lotus fields, all gathered into one gentle, glowing presence that will continue to walk with you long after this dream fades. You pause once more and rest both hands over your heart. The warmth you feel there is steady, grounded, alive. It radiates outward in slow waves, like calm ripples spreading through a still lake. Each ripple softens something: your jaw, your shoulders, the space behind your eyes, the edges of your thoughts. You bow your head slightly, not to the forest, not to the path, not even to the Buddha, but to yourself, to the quiet part of you that kept walking, to the brave part of you that opened, to the gentle part of you that softened, to the weary part of you that finally allowed rest. You straighten slowly, breath deep and warm. The clearing around you brightens just a little, enough for the shadows to soften and the air to shimmer with a faint, dreamlike glow. It's not a new landscape. It's simply the world becoming clearer as your inner world settles. A soft sensation moves through you. Not quite a breeze, not quite warmth, but something between the two. It feels like being wrapped in a blanket of calm. It feels like being held. It feels like the final moment before sleep fully arrives. You lower yourself gently onto the soft ground at the center of the clearing. The earth is warm here, as though the sun's memory lingers beneath the surface. The moss cushions your body, and the night air settles around you like a final, quiet embrace. Your body grows heavier, not with fatigue, but with surrender. Your breath slows, not because you must, but because it wants to. Inhale, your chest rises softly. Exhale, your body melts deeper into the earth. You close your eyes, and the clearing around you becomes a warm, hazy glow behind your eyelids. The Buddha's presence is a soft hum now, gentle, steady, familiar. The ember inside your chest dims into a quiet, golden warmth, like a lantern turned low for sleep. No thoughts pull you. No memories rise. No questions remain. There is only peace. Peace that moves with your breath. Peace that fills your limbs. Peace that drifts through your entire being like warm smoke. Your breath falls into the slow rhythm of deep rest. Your body becomes weightless again. Your mind becomes soft as cloth, folding quietly inward. The forest fades. The clearing fades. Even the dream path dissolves gently into golden haze. What remains is you, resting in stillness, held in warmth, carried by the peace you cultivated step by step. You drift deeper and deeper and deeper still, into sleep, into comfort, into quiet joy. The journey ends here, but the peace remains with you in every breath you take from this moment forward. Good night, dreamer. Rest well. The Buddha's wisdom walks with you always.